Round one, fight!
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Tournament Fights. This is episode 106. It's going to be movies set completely off of Earth. So we're doing some sci-fi. We like to kind of switch it up, have a good variety of topics. We figure it's been a little bit since we've done a sci-fi episode. So, so if they have scenes on Earth, they do not count unless it's like a quick little like just a couple minutes for like an end scene or something like that. We made a few slight exceptions, but for the most part, like 95% or more that have zero scenes on Earth. So it'll be fun. It'll be the closest that we've ever gotten to a Star Wars versus Star Trek, minus a couple of Star Trek movies where like First Contact or Star Trek 09. Some of those movies we couldn't because there's too many scenes on Earth. But you'll see though, it'll be a fun one. So. But yeah, I'm your host tonight, Jordan. The movie hero Anderson. I put the Android because I'm a big Data from Next Generation fan, but the Android can count for a lot of things. No, I'm not. I'm supposed to his name. Mark from the Schmodown. Mark. Andraco. Yeah, I'm not Mark Andraco, so there's no need to adjust your sets. But anyways, I will go ahead and I'll introduce my panel for tonight. We'll start with my co-host Austin Pez. How's it going?
So a couple little tidbits. We have 8 Star Trek movies tonight, 12 Star Wars movies tonight. Got a couple of other things sprinkled in there. Couple of Marvel movies, just a few. We got a couple of Alien movies. We've got, and then some other, various sci-fi movies, even a couple of horror movies in there. So you'll see a few horror movies here and there. And one little other fact, only one of the movies on this list has won a tournament before. So there's a really good chance we'll have a fresh tournament winner, actually. So, yeah.
Nice, yeah.
Oddly enough.
Well, for anyone who is not familiar, every 100 episodes, we'll do a tournament of 64 unique winners that have never won a tournament fights before. So we kind of like it when a unique winner wins, but I mean, it doesn't always happen. It just depends. So yeah, but we'll go ahead and we'll introduce the rest. We got Steven Shepard. How's it going, Steven?
Oh, he's muted. Oh, Steven, you silly goose. Eating popcorn, just so lackadaisical. What are you doing?
That's
I've got some cookies, so.
Yes, rooting for a Star Trek movie to win.
Yeah. We'll see. I watched a few movies to prep for this. I wish I would have had time to get to more. I got to 3. So.
Well, it's unfortunate. My favorite one is not part of this tournament, which is First Contact. So.
Oh yeah, I know. Same. Yeah. It's my favorite Star Trek too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we also have on here a first timer that I've been trying to get for a little bit, but we finally got him tonight. We have Andy Sweet on. How's it going?
Hello.
Happy to finally be here. I know we've been trying to do this for a long time.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah. Glad to have you. So yeah. And then we also have, last but certainly not least, Richie Gooacre. How's it going?
What's up? Yeah, no, good to be here. Looking forward to this matchup. I would say all these picks are going to be out of this world. Get it? Because space.
Yeah. Yeah, one of these days I'm going to get the little drum and hi-hat sound effect so I can play that after. But and then we'll also have Papa West joining us here in a little bit. He's just got a couple of things he got to take care of, but he'll be here in a little bit. So yeah. But Austin, you want to break it down as to how it's going to work tonight?
Oh yeah, and that reminds me, I probably should share my screen here in just a minute as I'm explaining.
Oh yeah,
because I'll be your bracket master for this evening. Everything's been randomized here in this tournament of 64, and we'll pull it up in just a minute. We'll slide everybody over, and we'll rotate the order every time. So whoever goes first, we'll go first as I bring the matchup up. And Andy, it can run a little long sometimes, but again. The episode depends on us. however long we decide to yap and tangent and whatever. If we keep it clear and concise to 20 or 30 seconds apiece, each round, it goes pretty quickly. So, and then once we get to those inner brackets, once we're done with the outer brackets, we speed it up significantly, and we just go into speed round mode since we get our kind of thoughts out of the way, and we fly to a finish. So, but that's how kind of it works. And Papa's not here yet, but if we have a tie, once we have 6 people, we do have tiebreaker procedures. I'll kind of explain that if we need them. So, but yeah, it's whatever you want to vote for any reason at all. If you if you just really love one movie and despise another one, if you hate both movies and you just have to pick one, or if you just like one poster more than the other or somebody in it, who cares? Whatever reason you want to vote for is up to you. So that's kind of how it works.
But you do have to vote no matter what, even if you haven't seen both movies. Just come up with whatever reason. I mean, whatever movie looks better to you, or whatever reason you have for wanting to pick one over the other. So
I think I can do that.
All right. All right. So I guess as of this, we'll start with Richie, and then we'll go to Andy, and we'll kind of go from there. And
I just got one thing to say before we start.
Oh no!
Let's do this.
We're going to play a wonderful game called Who is Your Daddy and What Does He Do? It's showtime.
What do you say we cut the chit-chat? A-hole!
May I see your invitation, please?
Sure. Here's my invitation.
Let's do this, Schmidt.
Yeah. Just like we always do, Jenkins.
Jacob. Oh, sorry.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. And I want to have them answered immediately.
I mean, come on, I just don't see a problem here. Let's just do it.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm pumped.
You serious?
All right, let's go.
All right. Our first matchup of the evening is the Chronicles of Riddick versus Mars Needs Moms.
Oh, no.
Wow.
What a banger to start out. I will say the second match, way more interesting. We'll just get this one out of the way. We'll start with Richie.
I mean, isn't Mars Needs Moms one of the biggest box office bombs ever?
Correct.
I think it is. And it got released a lot later than it was meant to come out. There's a lot of issues with it. Yeah, it's a weird premise as well, and the animation looks really ugly.
Very creepy.
But I avoided it. Look, I mean, I said to you, Chronicles of Riddick it's decent. It's all right. I'm not a huge fan of the pitch black stuff, but it's all right. It's pretty good. So yeah, like not enthusiastic about it, but yeah, Chronicles of Riddick is a passable movie, so I'll go Chronicles of Riddick.
All right.
Yeah. Well, Andy, what do you think?
I mean, short and sweet. I mean, lesser of two evils. I'll choose Riddick. It's entertaining. It is what it is.
I'm sorry, we're voting on the Chronicles of Riddick, Andy, not Riddick. The other movie, Riddick, is in the tournament somewhere, but
well, then Chronicles of Riddick I will go with.
It's an old joke. If somebody says, I'm voting for whatever 2, we go, oh, I'm sorry, we're voting on the original one? Yeah. Steven,
yeah.
Haven't seen Mars Needs Moms. Chronicles of Riddick is okay. I'm not really big on the Riddick movies, although the third one is actually probably the better of the 3. But yeah, I'll go with Chronicles of Riddick.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. Chronicles of Riddick will get a pass, but don't worry, guys. I assure you, it will lose to whatever wins the next round. I will assure you of that. But yeah, I'm a bigger fan of the back halves of those series, Pitch Black and Riddick, more than Chronicles of Riddick. But it still has Carl Urban, so at least it has that going for it. So yeah, Chronicles of Riddick.
Well, you took my only argument that I had, was that it has Carl Urban in it, and so I'll vote for the Chronicles of Riddick. It also has Judi Dench in it, I guess. Like who would have thought about that? But in a Chronicles of Riddick movie, and then Keith David, he's always great. So and Mars Needs Moms is just creepy, like the way that the human characters look, surprisingly, versus any like alien characters. The humans are what looks the creepiest. So no thanks. I'll vote Chronicles of Riddick.
All right.
I mean, we do think of Judi Dench as this prestigious, very kind of a classically trained actress, but she also said yes to Artemis Fowl. So
yeah,
true. Yeah.
All right, you guys ready? We got a championship level match coming up.
Let's see.
We got Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope versus Star Trek 2: The Wrath of Khan.
Oh.
Welcome to Tournament Fights, Andy. You first.
Yeah. You go first.
Wow. My first solo decision, and this is the one I got to start with.
Yep.
I mean, I love them both, but I'm going to go with the more childhood memories and the significance of it through the rest of my life. I'm going to go with A New Hope.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, Steven, I think I might know where you're going.
A New Hope is probably my favorite Star Wars movie.
Oh, well.
Or it's either number 1 or number 2.
Makes it tough.
But, of course, Wrath of Khan is in my top, 15 or 20 of all time. So, yeah, I got to go with Wrath of Khan.
Yeah.
Papa's in the chat.
Yeah. How's Papa in the chat, but he's not on screen? Where the hell is he? Is he here?
Oh yeah. He just showed up. Sorry.
There he is.
Yeah.
For the past 5 minutes.
Okay, sorry. But anyways, yeah. So,
I have been falling for an hour.
Yeah, right. We need Malcolm. He has that set for his notification. But Austin, what do you think?
Yeah, I've made it known I'm more of a next gen guy than an OG Star Trek guy. I recognize Wrath of Khan is good, but it's got an unfortunate matchup because my childhood memories are pretty much Star Wars and then Star Trek: The Next Generation, not the original Star Wars. So I got to go with The New Hope. Sorry, Steven.
Well, this one's interesting because New Hope isn't one of my favorite Star Wars movies. It's a lot of people's, but not mine. But it's great. It is really, really good. But I don't know, because I'm not really a huge fan of any of the OG Star Trek movies, but I do think Wrath of Khan is the best of them. So just for that reason, I think I'm going to give the vote to Wrath of Khan here. Just see where it goes. So
all right.
Papa West, welcome, and what do you think?
So real quick, I just want to, I want to complain. Judi Dench is a weird wind creature, which is awesome. The action in Chronicles of Riddick is really fun. I don't understand how y'all are not a big fan of that movie. But that being said, Star Trek, the only good movies in that franchise are not going to be on this list. New Hope, easily better than Wrath of Khan. Steven, I said what I said. You're wrong. Star Trek's moving on. Or Star Wars is moving on.
Yeah. We'll see.
I'm more of a new generation guy too. Sorry, Stephen. But I think I'm going to go the childhood argument too. I think the Star Wars is more, I was introduced to Star Wars more than I was introduced to Star Trek, so it's more interconnected with my, growing up and childhood. It's one of my, I think the first proper full-on movies I watched. It's one of the first movies I owned on VHS, which is New Hope. So I will go Star Wars.
I'm sorry, Steven.
In round one,
the first round, it can happen on tournament fights. I saw that matchup and I went, "Oh God, why couldn't Wrath of Khan go up against Mars Needs Moms?"
Yeah,
that really sucks. One spin wheel away. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right, well, we got Mission to Mars versus Forbidden Planet.
All right,
with the old movie with Leslie Nielsen. Yeah. So, all right, we'll start with Steven.
Steven.
Haven't seen Forbidden Planet. I actually think Mission to Mars is very underrated. And I especially love Ennio Morricone's score to it. It's one of my favorite scores of all time. I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't go through because I know I'm in the minority and really liking this movie a lot. But I'm going with Mission to Mars.
Yeah. Well, Austin?
Yeah, I've seen both of these. Forbidden Planet's okay. You got to be in the mood for 50s, kind of goofy sci-fi. But sometimes that stuff is fun, and most of the time they're like 90 minutes long, so it's not bad. But yeah, it's been a while since I saw Mission to Mars. But I remember thinking it was okay. People kind of crapping on it, but it's a Brian De Palma movie, so it's pretty well directed, and he does a decent job with it. So I'll go Mission to Mars.
Yeah, I have not seen Forbidden Planet, but I watch anything Leslie Nielsen's in, so I got to go back and check that out, even if it's like a kind of old 50s sci-fi. I mean, that's fine. I mean, there's some good old 50s sci-fi, like War of the Worlds and that kind of stuff. But yeah, the Mission to Mars, I think that it's fun. Like, it's not necessarily the greatest movie that's going to be on this list, but it's got a solid little cast with Gary Sinise and Tim Robbins and Don Cheadle in there. And then like Jerry O'Connell pops up, Connie Nielsen. So yeah, I think that it's good enough to move on here. So I'll vote for Mission to Mars. Yeah, Pop West.
I've seen one of these. That would be Mission to Mars. And I did really enjoy it. Like especially the scene where they're looking at the planet and there are the 3 graves when there's 4 crew members and one of them's like, he's alive. There are only 3 graves, and the person's like, "Well, who's gonna dig his grave?" And then the M&Ms with anti-gravity was also pretty fun. But that being said, a lot of Mission to Mars takes place on Earth. So
yeah,
Forbidden
that's one way to
Planet,
stretch a little bit for.
Forbidden Planet has to move on. Technicality.
All right, sure, yeah. Well, Richie.
Yeah, I also really like Mission to Mars. Yeah, I think it got unfairly shit on when it came out. I think this is sort of a similar thing to like a Dante's Peak volcano situation because I think this Mission to Mars came out around the same time as that Val Kilmer movie,
Red Planet, yes.
Which is definitely the worst one out of the 2.
It's way better than Red.
I haven't seen Forbidden Planet. I've heard decent things, but Mission to Mars, I had fun with. I think, I've always maintained this. I think Tim Robbins is an underrated actor. I think he's really good in this film, so I will go Mission to Mars.
All right.
Yeah, sounds good. Andy.
I mean, I think I'm kind of like everyone else. Never seen Forbidden Planet. I remember seeing Mission to Mars probably a long time ago. I mean, I like Gary Sinise. He's always entertaining. So, in just about anything he's in. So, Mission to Mars.
All right.
Yeah.
That's good. Mission to Mars.
Mission to Mars.
Yeah. All right. Got Kroll versus Solo, a Star Wars story.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
All right. It's me first.
It's awesome.
You know what? Solo put me to sleep and bored the shit out of me, so I'm going to give it to Kroll because Kroll is kind of silly, but it's old school. But I'd rather watch that and some practical stuff than a Star Wars movie that bores me to tears. So, and that was unnecessary as well. So I'll go Kroll.
Yeah. I've never seen Kroll, but Solo. I think there's some fun to be had. Like I really like what they do with a young Lando there. In the movie, for some reason I'm forgetting his actual name, Childish Gambino, but he's
Donald Glover.
Yeah, Donald Glover. Yeah, brain fart. But yeah, so like he was great. Like I wouldn't mind seeing even like a spin-off of just him being Lando, like having an adventure or something. But there's a cool train heist scene, and I don't even mind the Kessel Run scene too. Like I mean, there's some fun to be had there. So and like I want to like know what Darth Maul's doing there at the end too. I mean, I wish that we would have gotten some kind of follow up on that, but we probably never will. But I've never seen Kroll, so I'll vote Solo. Yeah, Papa West.
You all know I love Star Wars. It's a franchise very near and dear to me. I do kind of wish that we had, I believe it was a 3-movie Solo that they were pitching. I do kind of wish that would happen. But that being said, Solo is one of the worst Star Wars movies in the history of Star Wars movies. I'd rather watch the Star Wars special than Solo most of the time. And Kroll is in my top 64. Liam Neeson has that small part in it. A lot of people claim it to be King Arthur in space. And look at it, the glaive, the 5-pointed ninja throwing star, I think is the coolest weapon in all of sci-fi. I will die on this hill. I do not care. Kroll is amazing, and it deserves to go on.
Yeah. Sounds good. Richie, what do you think?
Yeah, I've seen one of these, which is Solo. And I liked aspects of it. Yeah, but for large chunks of it, I was, largely bored. felt it was sort of unnecessary. You got like a whole universe that you could pull from, and you talk about. I don't know. I don't think a solo movie was that necessary, to be honest. And I haven't seen Kroll, but you know what? I believe Kroll was one of John Schnepp's favorite movies. So in solidarity with him and as remembrance to him, I'll go Kroll.
Well, I think if you want to get just a perfectly fine like movie of any kind, you bring in Ron Howard and he makes it just like fine. Like that's just my take on it. But Andy, what do you think?
I mean, like everyone said, Kroll's meh. Or, I mean, Solo is meh. Kroll I've seen once or twice. I remember enjoying it. I'll go with Kroll.
Sure, yeah. Steven? Here's where it's going to go.
Do I go with the movie that I haven't seen, or do I go with the movie that's just... I'll give it to Kroll. Since
all right.
Yeah. All right. There you go. Papa Kroll makes it through.
Kroll.
All right.
Good.
Okay. Our next matchup will be Passengers versus Rogue One.
Ooh, the other spin-off movie. Okay.
All right. And we go to Jordan first.
Well, this is kind of interesting because I'm actually one of the defenders of Passengers. It's not in my 128 or anything, but it could be in my top 200 movies, though. Like it. I actually have fun with it. Like I think that it's an interesting story. Just like these astronauts kind of waking up way before they're supposed to, and out of hypersleep in this giant spaceship. And
well, to be fair, one wakes up and one unfairly wakes the other one up because he's horny.
Yeah. To be fair, I'd probably do the same thing, honestly. But I wouldn't want to be like alone forever on that ship. But and yeah, like I think that it's pretty interesting. And then Lawrence Fishburne shows up and does some stuff, and yeah. So but yeah, Rogue One like might be like my number 1 or my number 2 favorite Star Wars movie. Like they kind of flip flop between that and one other one, which we'll get to. I won't reveal it yet, but yeah, it's really, really good. Like just a cool, unique story about a rebellion and it doesn't really have like little to no lightsaber stuff except for the end thing with Vader at the end. And yeah, some really great scenes, really great cast. Like it's a fun time. So, and has a great score despite not having John Williams doing the scores, Michael Giacchino, but it's still just like really good. So yeah, I'll vote for Rogue One. Papa West.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to be a little fair to Passengers. It'd be in my top 2,000 movies, maybe. I think I can squeeze it in there. I was not a fan. I was thoroughly bored during this. That being said, Rogue One is one of my favorite Disney era Star Wars movies. We'll see if the other one pops up on here because you gave me the list, but I don't remember everything on the list. Rogue One, I'd also say easily top 6, 7 Star Wars movies. Rogue One.
Yeah, Papa, all the Star Wars movies are on there because they all take place a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. So they're all on the list.
They're all, yeah.
Even the Clone Wars animated movie.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, Richie, what do you think?
Spoiler: that's not making it far. That movie sucks. The Passengers. I was bored. I just found it dull. I was probably as bored as Chris Pratt was in this movie. Not just because he's horny, but because he just seems bored in this movie. He seems like he's in a bland movie. The performances are uninspiring. And Rogue One is one of my favorite Star Wars films. I think it works on every level. I think I really love Donnie Yen's character. I wish they would explore more of that. It's very easy for me, so I'm going to go to Rogue One.
Yeah. Well, Andy, what do you think?
I mean, I'm just saying, Rogue One it's kind of like the previous movie. What this movie did right, Solo should have done, but they couldn't. They used the sandbox to their advantage, and so yeah, Rogue One.
Yeah. And Steven, what do you think?
I get the arguments that the movie kind of lets Chris Pratt's character off the hook a little too easily, with the ship malfunctioning and everything. So a bit contrived. But I still enjoyed the movie. I'll go for Passengers. Rogue One to me was okay, not great, not terrible. The last half hour is great, but up until then, it's just whatever.
Yeah, the last half hour is when they had the real war stuff, where they're like getting in the trenches and like doing running across the beaches. Yeah,
and the Darth Vader scene is awesome.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. So, Austin, what do you think?
I kind of defend Passengers. I do like that movie overall. Once you get past the idea that Chris Pratt sentences Jennifer Lawrence to death essentially by waking her up. So, because they're still like 70 years away from their destination. So that's a death sentence. But once you get past that, I don't think the movie's that bad. But it's going to be as Rogue One, which is the best Disney era Star Wars movie. So I'll go Rogue One. So all right. Rogue One moves on, and we scroll down to Star Trek Generations versus Riddick.
Oh man.
All right. So we go to Papa this time.
I love Pitch Black and Chronicles of Riddick. I have not seen Riddick yet. I own it. I just haven't had the time to see it. That being said, most every Star Trek movie sucks, regardless of what Steven says. Generations is one of the worst. Riddick, moving on.
Yeah. Richie, what do you think?
Don't hold back your feelings on things, Papa. It's fine. You can let it all out if you want. Riddick again. This movie didn't really need. I guess the only appeal to me personally was Batista's in it, but he doesn't do much. And Star Trek Generations is definitely not one of my favorite ones. I don't know. I'll go Star Trek Generations. Why not?
Yeah. Andy, what do you think?
They're both okay. I don't remember much of Riddick. I remember more of Generations, so I'll go with Generations.
Yeah. Steven.
Katie Sackhoff was in Riddick, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I thought that's like out of all the Riddick movies, this is probably the one I enjoyed the most. Still not great, but and Star Trek Generations, while I still found it to be enjoyable, it is also in many ways a pretty big disappointment. A massive just because, the teaming Kirk and Picard should have been better than it was. And the idea behind the Nexus is a cool idea, but they never really fully explore it. Kirk and Picard realize way too easily how fake it is. And it's essentially really just used as a plot device. And Soren, even though I like Malcolm McDowell as an actor, I don't think this is one of his better performances. And Soren actually is kind of a weak villain. So you know what? This will probably be the one time I'll vote against a Star Trek movie, and I'll go with Riddick.
Yeah.
The data stuff is hilarious, and the scene when the Enterprise saucer section crashes into the planet is awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Well, Austin, what do you think?
This is tougher than you might think, but these movies are kind of on the same level because I'll defend Generations for the most part. Like, because again, I'm a next gen guy, so even just seeing them, doing their thing is all right. By the way, you never leave Riker alone with the Enterprise. Something always goes wrong. always fucking goes wrong. And then, but the first 20 minutes of Riddick is actually really good. When he's like, it's like almost like a silent movie with him just surviving on the planet and kind of, adapting to everything. Like, it's pretty good. But in the end, I'm a next gen guy, so I'll go with Generations. And Steven, the Nexus is as real as you want it to be per the movie.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you don't want it to be real, it's not real.
Yeah, Soren is so obsessed with getting back to the Nexus that he's willing to destroy planets and kill untold millions.
Yes.
And so
Yeah. Well, I think for me, yeah, like I'm a next gen guy. Like I'll defend like pretty much any movie that has that crew in it. Like I love seeing them just kind of working together, doing their thing. Like I thought the Nexus was kind of fun. Like it's not the greatest like thing that they could ever come up with, but it's interesting just to kind of see like Jean-Luc Picard kind of like have visions of his like former home and like growing up and that kind of thing, and yeah, like I always remember that like when the ship splits and the saucer scene when it crashes down too, and so that's pretty cool. Yeah, and then like they have a scene. I think it's been a while since I've seen it, but I think that they have a thing where they kill off the original cast, but then like fake out they're not really dead or something like that. So, and then it's like at the end Picard and Kirk having to work together at the end. So that's cool. It's just, like see the melding of the two casts. So and Riddick's fine. I saw it once. Don't really care to really go back. It's like basically like the Chronicles of Riddick, but you add in Katie Sackhoff and Dave Bautista in there. So yeah. But I'll vote for Generations.
Also, one thing I forgot to say, spoiler alert for Star Trek Generations. Kirk's death sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of weird, yeah.
All right, let's go down. Prometheus versus Sunshine.
Ooh, two of the movies that I watched for this. So nice.
All right. Richie.
Cool. Two quite underrated movies, I feel. Prometheus, I think, got unfairly shit on when it came out. I think it's actually a pretty decent alien film. I think Michael Fassbender kills it, especially. But yeah, I think it's a good film. And Sunshine, yeah, it's just an underseen Danny Boyle film that's really good. In a sort of early-ish Chris Evans when he was kind of making his presence known, and early like Rose Byrne as well. So yeah, this is tough. I'm gonna go with Sunshine.
Yeah. Andy, what do you think?
I enjoy them both a lot. I really like the Alien movies, though. I like the whole introduction of the architects, kind of all that, expanding that world a little bit more. So, and Michael Fassbender was great. I'm gonna go with Prometheus.
Yeah. Steven.
It's been a long time since I've seen either one of these. I remember liking Sunshine, although I think I kind of remember not caring as much about the ending, but it's been a long time. So, and Prometheus, I remember it being a visually stunning movie. And the characters, not the greatest, but not the worst. I remember Prometheus a little bit more, so I'll go with Prometheus.
Yeah. Well, Austin?
And Sunshine has a lot of the kind of before they were famous people, like Michelle Yeoh's in there, and Hiroki Sanada, who was a Scorpion, and Benedict Wong. Jordan is in there, so yeah. I mean, there's a lot of good people in there. Yeah, I like Prometheus a lot too. I'll still defend that. I will not defend Alien Covenant, but I really like Prometheus. So just because I've seen it more times, I'll get to Prometheus. But if Sunshine was up against something else, I'd probably vote for it.
Yeah, well, funny enough, I think that these movies have a lot of similar things, kind of the way that they're shot and the way that they're like they both have big casts and like I don't know like just kind of some similarities there. But I do have a little bit a hot take. So I watched Sunshine for the first time, and I absolutely hated this movie. I thought this movie was one of the worst movies ever made that I've ever seen.
Shit.
Period. Like absolute trash, fucking garbage. Like of a movie. The pacing's off. The pacing, like they're doing one thing 1 second, they're doing another thing. Totally different the next minute. You don't know what's going on. They don't explain it. They're going over all this like complicated like jargon, and it's not making any sense. There's no coherent story. Like at one point, you think Michelle Yeoh dies, and then you find out like, oh, she's still alive, but it looked like she was like damn near about ready to burn in fire, but I guess she survived somehow. And it's like people are like 1 minute they're in one spot, next minute they're like on the other ship that they're like trying to get to, and it just has all these weird like the jump cuts. I think the editing's bad, the pacing's bad, the ending sucks. The ending's just really weird. I don't even know what's even happening at the ending. And yeah, like it's just really, really weird. Like it just doesn't make any sense to me. I just thought that it was terrible. And for me, the thing is, it's like there's nothing worse to me than a movie that's like on paper and by all accounts, like looks like a really great movie, but then you see it and they shoot for the stars. Like you got Danny Boyle, they're like going for the artistic route, like all these different things, and then it just like totally shits the bed for me. Like I just hated it. And like I'd rather watch a movie that's like a fun bad watch, you know, like I'd rather watch any Kristen Stewart movie over this. I'd rather watch a lot of things. I hate you say that. I hate Kristen Stewart. I'd rather watch movie 43. I'd rather watch like a Freeberg and Seltzer movie, like anything over this pile of trash garbage. No, like I hated this movie. It was bad. So yeah, that's my little rant for that movie. Sunshine.
You say that until I sit you down and watch a disaster movie. You'll be begging for Sunshine.
Yeah, but yeah, Prometheus though, I don't love it either, but I think that's done way better than Sunshine, and I kind of like dig the slow burn here versus the slow burn from Sunshine. So because for Sunshine, the only positive thing, like the only acting that I liked in the whole thing was Chris Evans. I thought everyone else looked bored out of their minds, like to even be there, especially Cillian Murphy. So it's like one of his worst performances in my mind. So yeah, I'll vote for Prometheus easy. So, Papa West.
Way to not hold back, Jordan. 5 minutes to say Sunshine sucks. I did that in like 2 seconds. That being said, I have not seen Sunshine, so I will keep this pretty short, sweet, and to the point. Prometheus, nowhere near the worst alien movie. It is actually a very decent movie. I find it really enjoyable when you watch it by itself without trying to say that it is an alien movie. Michael Fassbender, fantastic performance. Prometheus, moving on.
All right.
Yeah, I will say that the Sunshine took me 3 days to get through because I kept stopping. I'm like, this movie is a slog to get through. So I kept turning it off, and it prevented me from starting up other movies because I'm like, I got to get to this movie before I start something else.
Doesn't Sunshine have one of those scores that gets played a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets played a lot in the.
It's actually in Kick-Ass.
Yeah.
A couple of Danny Boyle's things are Kick-Ass has some stuff from Sunshine and 28 Days Later. Yeah.
It's funny.
All right. We've got Jupiter Ascending. So the next thing you're going to tell me, Jordan, is that Jupiter Ascending is better than Sunshine. But all right.
You better talk about that. Yeah.
No, I've actually never seen Jupiter Ascending all the way through, so I can't say that.
Anyway.
But it doesn't really matter because it's going to be
Spaceballs is better. Yeah.
So we'll see. But Andy's first.
This is the easiest one ever, Spaceballs. I don't know if I need to do any exposition on it. It's a classic.
Yeah.
Right. Great movie. That's it.
Yeah.
Done.
Well, Steven?
I've only seen 2 Mel Brooks movies, and Spaceballs isn't one of them.
Ooh.
So I gotta go with Jupiter Ascending. Probably the weakest movie that the Wachowskis have done, but I thought it was enjoyable enough.
Yeah. Austin.
God. Oh my God, no, that movie's the shits. Like Jupiter Ascending was terrible. And what's that guy Eddie Redmayne who always wins all the awards? And he talks like this the whole movie.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
the fuck are you doing, dude? Like, bro, I want to slap the shit out of him the whole time. Like, bro, knock that shit off. Yeah, no, this is like the easiest one so far. Spaceballs, easy.
Yeah. I've never seen Jupiter Ascending all the way through. I think I saw like the first 5 or 10 minutes, and I'm like, I don't even know if I want to come back to this. So.
I saw something with Jupiter Ascending on, like, I did a double feature, and I can't remember the same night, and it was another bad movie. I'm trying to look it up.
Yeah.
No, because they were 2 years apart. It couldn't have been Seventh Son, but I know I saw Seventh Son over there too.
Because I remember somebody
Was it?
involved with the Schmodown said they did the double bill of Jupiter Ascending and Seventh Son.
Did I? Because I thought
Yeah.
it was, but then if you Google it, it says it's different years. But maybe it was like a January thing. Was it?
I think Seventh Son probably was meant to come out a certain year. You know,
Was it?
meant
Okay.
to come out a
Okay,
certain
so
year.
it did actually come out January 16th, 2015, and I'm gonna look up Jupiter Ascending because if it is, I recall seeing both of those on the same night, and that was like, oh, I was like, oh my God, it was close. Yeah, it says February 6th, 2015. It's close. I could have seen Jupiter Ascending and then gone to see Seventh Son like in another theater, so I could have done that. So it's very possible. Yeah, that was a bad double feature. It sure was.
Yeah, well, we'll say about Spaceball is that Mel Brooks is my second favorite director of all time. I think that he's great. I love most of his movies. There's maybe one or two, maybe weaker ones, but like the ones that I love, I really love them. Spaceball is a great movie to quote, like comb the desert, and then you see it, it's like, man, we ain't found shit. Or like when they like pull Mel Brooks up on the monitor, and they're like, sorry, sir, we didn't see you playing with your dolls again, or whatever. Like yeah, there's just like a lot of like cool little like some blatant things, some subtle things. There's a lot of great comedy there. So yeah, Spaceball is easy. Papa West.
I want to go back to something Steven said. He said he found Jupiter Ascending enjoyable. Steven, I have a movie I need you to watch as soon as we're done with this. In fact, just leave, watch this movie, and then come back. I promise you'll enjoy it. It's called Spaceballs.
Oh yeah, yeah.
No, this
we'll still be going. It's all right.
This finished second in my tournament. I was really pushing for it to win, but fortunately, a different sci-fi movie came out victorious. That being said, Spaceballs, obviously.
Yep.
Richie.
Well,
yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where, I have a soft spot for the Wachowskis because they did The Matrix, and I think there's a lot of great creative ideas in there. But sometimes their creative ideas doesn't come to the forefront in creating a good movie. Jupiter Ascending is one of those ones where I don't know what happened. Yeah, and I don't. Yeah, it's luckily like Eddie Redmayne only just won his Best Actor for playing Stephen Hawking, and this came out. It's like, man, if this came out just before that, and I don't know, I think it'd be like a Norbit situation. Because I don't know what he's doing.
What does he do? Talking.
Why does he talk? And yeah, Spaceballs is great. So there's no competition. I'm surprised we.
I didn't even get to the Eddie Redmayne stuff, so I never even got to hear it.
Yeah, it's not good. You can just watch a scene of it on YouTube. You'll get the idea.
Yeah.
All right, we got Star Trek: The Motion Picture versus Life.
God.
Ooh. Yes.
All right, Steven.
It's actually been a long time since I last saw Star Trek: The Motion Picture, and I can't remember if I ever saw the director's cut or not. Life is okay, but I do think it's a little overrated. I mean, the first, I did like the they make you think a certain person is going to be the first one to die, and it's someone else, and of course, who that person is someone that you probably wouldn't normally expect him to die right away. So I did enjoy that. I don't know. But the ending, I just thought the ending was very predictable. But it's okay. It's not a bad movie. It's just because Star Trek the motion picture is not fresh in my mind, and life has a few good jolts, I will give the slight edge to Life.
We're not on record that Stephen has voted against Star Trek
twice.
Yeah. Twice, yeah.
Even though his thing clearly says Star Trek over Star Wars. Yeah.
Well, it's not a Star Wars movie though, so it's okay.
Yeah, sure. I did go back and watch a lot of the original Star Trek movies not too long ago, just because like I had a Blu-ray set I got, and I wanted to actually just get through it, say I'd seen it, and like I thought Star Trek motion picture was okay. If you just fast forward through like the first 10 minutes where they're just circling around the damn ship, and then get to the movie, it's not bad. But yeah, and Life is Life. I saw it once in the theater, and I don't care to beyond that. So I'll go with Star Trek actually on this one.
Yeah, well, I've seen Star Trek the motion picture, but a long time ago, to the point where like I don't really even remember anything about it, other than like a 5-minute sequence of like when they first take out the Enterprise, and it's just moving so slow, and I'm like, come on, get over it. When like let's get through this already. It's just going so slow, playing this epic music, which I thought that scene was way too long. But I'm actually a big fan of the movie Life. Like I actually love this movie. This movie's in my 128. I freaking love Life, and it just gives me vibes of like an alien trapped in a ship, almost like the original Alien. I'm not going to say it's the same, but it has like some vibes, because it's like this thing gets loose, and it's like you don't know where it is. It could be anywhere in the ship, and like my kind of fear, like this movie actually generally scared me, because my kind of fear is always anxiety based. Like I have nightmares that are anxiety based all the time, where I'm like trying to do something, I'm trying to get away from something, and I just can't seem to do it. And in my dreams, I'm always panicking, and like that's like a similar thing to this, and it has a great cast. I mean, you have Jake Gyllenhaal, Ryan Reynolds, Rebecca Ferguson, Hiroyuki Sanada shows up again. Speaking of him in another sci-fi movie, and then spoiler alert, because I don't think too many people care. At the end, it gets loose on Earth, and like that's really terrifying. Like I'd really like to see what happened with that on Earth. But a lot of people, they compare it to Venom. I don't think it's that really, but it's just more of an alien that doesn't really take people over necessarily. It just kills them, like flat out kills you. So yeah, I'll vote Life easy here. Papa.
The only thing that would make Life better is if it was a Venom prequel.
Yeah,
made it so good. That being said, y'all know my thoughts on Star Trek. That being said, I do not hate the motion picture. It is boring at times, most of the time, just like most every Star Trek movie out there. But there were definitely some things that I enjoyed about it. Ilya and Decker's relationship, Ilya just in general, I'm really she dies, so they can't bring her back. But I was kind of really upset that she wasn't involved in more of the Star Trek movies. And then I also really enjoyed the V'ger turning into one of the Voyager satellites. I thought that was cool how it was Voyager. I think it's Voyager 5, but there's that smudge on it, so you just see V'ger. And it kind of makes sense to me. But also Life, not that good. So Steven, I have to take care of you. You're supposed to be the Star Trek fanboy. I'll carry you this round. I'm going with Star Trek motion picture.
Yeah, sounds good. Richie, what do you think?
Yeah, I really like Life. I like that the Eddie Murphy Martin Lawrence movie. It's really funny. Very underrated.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good, but it's not. Yeah,
it is genuinely underrated. I would love to talk about that movie more than I talk about this movie. But yeah, I don't know. I feel do you have the do you guys have the supermarket chain Aldi there? This is like the
yes.
It's like the Aldi of alien movies. And it says it's just
Aldi is so much better than Life. Watch your mouth.
Yeah.
Aldi, like aren't they known to just be like mostly generic stuff, like their store brand stuff a lot.
It's pretty much all their store brand stuff, which is why everything's cheap. Yeah, there's no variety.
Yeah. The bargain bin, like trying to be alien, but not. I did not like this movie at all. That means, I mean, I thought I wasn't a huge fan of Star Trek Motion Picture either. I thought it was kind of boring. But look, I think there's more aspects to like from Star Trek Motion Picture than there is life. So I'll go Star Trek.
Sure, yeah. Andy?
Well, I've never seen Life. I like the newer Star Trek, but the original's okay. So I will go Star Trek.
All right, Star Trek.
How did Star Trek Picture move on, but not Star Trek 2?
Well, I mean, it moved on even without your support, Steven, as a Star Trek guy. So you know what?
Yeah, you're on my side this time. The Star Trek guy on my side.
One of them's a decent movie, I guess.
One of them.
Got Ghosts of Mars, John Carpenter.
John Carpenter, maybe.
Oh,
Yeah. Versus Star Trek V, The Final Frontier.
Ooh. The third movie that I watched. All right.
One with God. Yeah.
Oh wait, no, I watched Star Trek 6.
No, you watched Star Trek 6. No, you would know if you watched 5. It's the one with God. It's the one with Uhura's striptease. It's some really shitty stuff in it.
I definitely didn't see that. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm up first. This one's gonna be pretty easy. I don't mind Ghosts of Mars. I defended it on a battleground. I think that movie's all right. I think it's, people kind of shit on it for whatever reason, but it's Ice Cube, it's Jason Statham, it's Natasha Henstridge, it's Pam Grier, and it's just them having a good time. I mean, the movie's called Ghosts of Mars. Not supposed to take it that seriously, so I'm gonna go with Ghosts of Mars. I think it's a fun little quick action movie. So yeah.
Yeah, so I've not seen either one of these, but I still have to vote for one, and I've only seen a select Star Trek movies. I haven't seen them all, but I have not seen The Final Frontier, and I just kind of haven't because I just keep hearing people talk about how it's not any good, so I'm not really rushing out to go see it. But yeah, The Ghost of Mars. I'll vote for a John Carpenter movie with Ice Cube and Jason Statham. Sure, why not? So yeah, Ghost of Mars. Papa West?
Ghost of Mars is a huge guilty pleasure movie of mine.
Yeah, exactly.
I love this movie.
Exactly.
I love this movie. Ice Cube is great. Jason Statham is just that big asshole that you're excited to die. And the bad guys are scary looking. Look at that poster. That guy is terrifying, and that's most of.
There's legit 100 extras, all with crazy makeup, knives through their face and shit, and it's by Greg Nicotero, the guy who does The Walking Dead. So I mean, it's
so good.
Stuff. Yeah.
It's not that long of a movie. It's a quick watch. I find it very enjoyable. It's pretty gory too, which can be good. And then you have The Final Frontier, which is the worst Star Trek movie ever.
Yeah.
Easily. Ghost of Mars, moving on.
And Ghost of Mars, another point of order, has the soundtrack, the score is done by Anthrax.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, it's the electric guitar score from Anthrax. So just
interesting.
Saying.
Yeah.
And Ice Cube's name in it is Desolation Williams. That's awesome.
Nice. Well, Richie, what do you think?
Well, yeah, when around this time, a couple of years after this Ghost of Mars came out, I had the poster on my wall, and it was a good conversation starter because every time it's like, "You like that movie?" I'm like, "Yeah." Every time, "You like that movie?" Oh yeah, I do. It's so dumb, but I enjoy it, and yeah, it's better than what I also think is the worst Star Trek movie. So I'll go Ghost of Mars easily.
Yeah. Well, Andy.
I've seen neither one either, but I like John Carpenter. I like Jason Statham. He's always entertaining. He's kind of that guilty pleasure. You'll watch an action movie with him, even if you know it's going to be bad, because he'll be entertaining. So we'll go Ghost of Mars.
Yeah, sounds good. Steven.
Okay. I have a lot of nostalgia for Star Trek V because I can't remember if it was this or Ghostbusters 2. That was the first movie I ever saw in movie theaters. And I remember going to see this.
What was Sophie's choice of me? Yeah.
And I remember going to see this with my parents and my childhood best friend, and I had a good time watching it with them. And look, there's a lot of goofy stuff in that movie, of course, but I really enjoyed the campfire scenes in the early in the movie. You know, the chemistry between Kirk, Spock, and McCoy is always great. The row your boat, you know.
Jesus.
Kirk
You
climbing
want to
up.
listen to 30 seconds of guys who can't sing?
You're trying to sell the movie. You pick the worst scene in the movie.
Kirk climbing up the mountain, and even though there's some goofy stuff with Spock's half brother, I still think he's an interesting character. I did enjoy Ghosts of Mars, but my nostalgia is going to win over, and I'm going to vote for Star Trek V.
The first Star Trek movie he votes for in 3 Star Trek movies is the worst one.
You know, I voted for Wrath of Khan.
Oh my
I
God.
also recently
you voted against You voted against Star Trek: The Motion Pictures and Generations.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying though that you said that I had voted.
I said out of the last 3, this is the one you voted for.
And it's not. And I don't think it's the worst Star Trek movie because I think Into Darkness is worse.
Oh no.
Wow, no way! You're high. I recently watched the I think it was Siskel and Ebert's worst of from that year, and Star Trek it featured prominently on that list. So.
Yeah, well, I watched the Undiscovered Country for the first time, and they have a weird quote about the Final Frontier at the end, saying it's going to be the last voyage, and this is the Final Frontier or something like that. I'm like, this isn't the Final Frontier movie, but here's the quote from it in the wrong movie. Yeah,
got Pandorum versus Valerian and the whatever the fuck it's called,
City of a Thousand Planets or whatever.
Yeah. Whatever it is, Jordan.
Yeah, I saw Valerium. I think it's kind of forgettable. It's not that good. I mean, I like Dane DeHaan. I thought Cara Delevingne was very attractive in it, but other than that, I didn't care for it. I thought it was kind of dumb, and I've not seen Pandorum, but I know you were kind of talking about it a little bit, Austin, saying it is pretty good. So I probably need to check it out, and it has to be better than Valerian because that movie sucks. So I'll vote for Pandorum. Papa West.
I'm doing a quick Google search on Pandorum because I have no idea what this movie is.
It kind of came and went, but it's a sort of space horror movie, kind of a bonkers one. But it's got
Dennis Quaid
Ben
and
Foster who's really good, and Norman Reedus actually is in it too. So but it's a decent little kind of a horror, like I said, a horror movie. Got some creatures running around and shit. It's pretty good.
But it does have something going for it. It's not the Final Frontier, and it's not Valerian. Pandorum is getting my vote.
Yep. Well, Richie.
Yeah, Luc Besson has a issue of some of his films are very style over substance. The Valerian looks pretty. It's it's well shot.
He tried to get creative. He tried.
I have no idea what's going on in the movie, and everyone looks bored. I don't think Dane DeHaan's good at this movie. I mean, I think the only thing I've seen him in that I thought was that he was decent in was Cure for Wellness. The rest of it, I'm just like, I don't know. He was just one of the people around that time that came out like, "This is your star." Dane
Chronicle's great.
It's like, no, I don't know. No, he's not my star. And then Rihanna's in this movie doing weird shit.
Oh yeah. Forget about that.
And so maybe the same logic. I didn't know Pandorum was a thing until just now, but because it's not Valerian, I'll go Pandorum.
Yeah. Well, Andy,
I've actually seen one of these movies. I saw Pandorum. It was entertaining. Ben Foster was good from what I remember. I've only seen it the once, but it was fun. And Valerian was Valerian, so I'll go Pandorum.
Yeah. Well, Steven?
I haven't seen Valerian. I saw Pandorum. Pandorum came out in a year when I didn't really have much money, so I watched a lot of bootleg movies. I barely remember Pandora. I don't even know if I should really count that as me seeing it, just because I don't remember anything about it, and I remember thinking it was boring, but who knows if I would have thought that if I had seen it in a theater. But I'm going to go with Valerian since Luc Besson has made some enjoyable movies, and it's got Ethan Hawke, it's got Clive Owen, it's got Rutger Hauer, so why not?
Well, Austin.
But yeah, Valerian is not good. It's got like a decent like opening scene, and then the rest is just downhill. But yeah, I saw Pandora in the theaters actually. Me and my buddy, when we were seeing movies pretty much every week, just whatever was coming out, and yeah, it was kind of a pleasant surprise. It wasn't bad. It's a decent little space horror movie. So yeah, I'll also go Pandora. So
yeah,
there we go.
Pandora.
Okay, we got Force Awakens versus Lightyear. All right. So Papa is first.
I watched Lightyear for the first time, like just recently. My ex-girlfriend, she had a 6-year-old son who loves Buzz Lightyear, and so
it's Andy's favorite movie. Don't you know that?
I did know that.
Yeah,
they say that.
Yeah.
So I got to watch it. There are definitely some moments that were kind of good, but Force Awakens, I understand it is pretty much A New Hope, just released in 2017, but it still has some enjoyable moments. The fact that Kylo Ren can freeze. Yeah, I'd said the wrong year, Pez. Everybody knows tournament fights is prove you're better at trivia than Papa. It doesn't. Good for you. Good for you. That's why I write not
to be fair, it's only when you're on, which is not very often. So you know.
Yeah.
then we just play the game of who hasn't seen what. So that's all it is. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I can bring
Jacob for not seeing movies.
I'm glad I can bring some.
Jacob might be catching up to you though. He's seen a lot of movies.
Yeah,
you say you haven't seen a lot either. So
yeah, yeah, it's true.
No, The Force Awakens got me very excited for the sequel trilogy. It is not The Force Awakens' fault that none of the other movies were able to keep that momentum going. I'm going with The Force Awakens.
Yeah. Richie.
Yeah, watching The Force Awakens, I think it was one of my favorite, my most enjoyable theater experiences I've ever had. Just because of all the hype around it and all the, all the people would get excited. It was just like felt everyone came together as one, and hate didn't exist for a while. And it was a really, really, really fun time, and it probably colored my judgment on the film a bit because I remember coming out of it going, "Oh, this is the best ever," and then I watched it again. I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's good." Yeah, and I haven't seen Lightyear yet, but I'm just from reviews. I'm sure I'm going to be bitterly disappointed in it because like Toy Story is like my favorite franchises of all time, and yeah, I feel like maybe this movie is a bit unnecessary. And I guess if Lightyear was Andy's favorite movie, then I'm not going to go to the movies with Andy because he's probably choosing movies to watch. So I'll go The Force Awakens.
Yeah. Well, Andy, is Lightyear your favorite movie?
Actually, it's not. I haven't even seen it. Actually,
okay.
I love Toy Story too much. I just don't know if I want to ruin it. But Force Awakens is kind of made me excited to go to the movies again. I haven't felt that way in a while. Going into that one, it's a different experience. So. And I enjoy it. I love it. I wish the rest of them had been just as good. So I'm going to go Force Awakens.
Yeah, sounds good. Steven, what do you think?
Haven't seen Lightyear yet. I will eventually because I do actually like the idea behind it. Even though I know a lot of people think it's just a cash grab. But I like the idea behind it. I love The Force Awakens, so I'll definitely go with The Force Awakens.
Yeah. I'm Austin.
somebody smacking something near their microphone? What is that? What's going on?
It's my pen.
Oh, dude, get yourself a fidget spinner, Steven. What are you doing? Oh my god! Like, I had a friend who used to do shit with. He used to open and close his pocket knife all the time. It drove me fucking crazy.
Give him these little pop-it balls that I have.
Yeah, you get those little squeeze balls or something. Yeah.
Guys, we got to remember, Steven thinks Star Trek is better than Star Wars. He's not smart enough to use fidget spinners or fidget cubes or any of that.
Yeah, I'll make it short and sweet. Lightyear bored the shit out of me and put me to sleep in the theater. And Force Awakens is still good, and I don't like where the rest of the series went, but Force Awakens is still good. So Force Awakens.
Yeah, like I like Lightyear. I'm not going to say that it's the greatest movie, but I had fun with it. I mean, and I have a whole rant that I could go on about the Force Awakens. I won't do it here. Maybe if we talk like solely about Star Wars at some point, I can do it. But like, I just feel like that like Rey and BB-8 are like the only two characters that I really like. Poe wasn't too bad either, but besides that, all the other characters had potential to be great. They had so much potential, and it was wasted. So that's just my quick version of my rant. But I still remember my theater experience that I had, and I was working at a movie theater when this movie came out, so I got to deal with the sea of never-ending people. Like, it might be one of the last times I remember a theater being that packed with just like standing room only in the lobby, in the hallway, in every single theater. We had it playing on like all the screens for opening weekend. Like it was pretty nuts. And then we had our company Christmas party, so we got to see The Force Awakens a week early, so that was awesome. And we had a little preview thing that would show trailers out in the lobby too, and we had the Force Awakens on a loop, and like some of the employees started getting a little annoyed, but I was just like, bring it on. That trailer is great. Like they had a banger of an opening trailer that they had like the Chewie were home, and they had the thing that showed us Rey running around on her home planet. All that stuff is like really, really cool. And yeah, like I still think that that's a great movie, but it kind of is like getting a little worse on like a rewatch is a little for me. So, but yeah, I'll still vote for The Force Awakens though.
Yeah, I'll say Finn is great in this, but they don't really do much with him in the other ones.
Yeah.
So I can understand why John Boyega is a little bitter about his Star Wars experience.
Mm-hmm. All right, we got Star Trek Insurrection versus Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Well, this is kind of funny because my brother pops up on the chat. He says, like, just the joke, if you know him, he says, "Is Horton Hears a Who on here? Was that Earth? That wasn't Earth, was it? Like that was somewhere else, wasn't it?" So maybe on a technicality, it could count. Yeah,
I don't know. I'm not 4 years old. I didn't watch that movie.
Yeah. You just make a weird joke because he's
much better.
He's got a fun sense of humor. But anyway,
Richie.
Oh god. Okay. I find Star Trek Insurrection kind of boring as far as the new generation one, next gen goes. It's all right. And then I mean, I brought it up before. I think Clone Wars is very boring. I was falling asleep in this film, and I guess I had to choose between one. I'd go in Star Trek Insurrection, but I'd probably more likely. I don't know. I would, they're not really great options for me. If you want me to spend my time, but if I had to, I'll go Insurrection. But yeah, because Clone Wars is boring. More boring.
Yeah. Well, Andy, what do you think here?
Clone Wars was very boring. It took me, I think, it's not a long movie, but it still took me 2 times to watch it. Pacing was weird. Insurrection was okay. It was better than Clone Wars. But I'll go Insurrection.
Yeah. Fair enough. Steven, what do you think?
I remember one of the big criticisms that was against Star Trek Insurrection that people said was that it's essentially an extended episode of The Next Generation. To me, that's not a bad thing because I love the Next Generation.
I'll say that more about Nemesis for me, but yeah.
So yeah, I enjoyed Insurrection a lot. So I'll go with Star Trek Insurrection.
Yeah. Well, Austin.
There's no shit pet that his lip should curl, his cheek should flame, and his brow should his bosom should heave, and his heart should glow, and his fist be ever ready for a knockdown blow.
Yeah.
Better than Row Your Boat, I guess.
It's better than Row Your Boat, I'll say that. It is a strange
Yeah.
scene in that movie. You're like, they're singing that while they're chasing Data, but
Yeah.
but you know, again, it's Insurrection. Yeah, I can't defend it as a good movie, but it's still next gen crew and you know, still having an adventure with them. So I'd watch it over that Clone Wars movie any day, for sure.
F. Murray Abraham is the movie's main bad guy.
Well, and F. Murray Abraham helped me get a point in one of me and Jordan's geek matches. So, because I got it right, nobody else did. I guess it was like something about a character from Insurrection. I just guessed it was F. Murray Abraham's character. Got it right. So,
oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I've only seen the Clone Wars once. Like the series, like by far, like is better than this movie. So, like I'd much rather watch that. But and I actually really like Star Trek Insurrection. Like I have fun with it, especially the opening scene when they have that first opening battle on the whatever planet that they're on. It is a lot of fun in it, and yeah, and again, I'm a big Next Generation guy, and just seeing them and just having fun working together, they're doing their thing. I think that it's great, and yeah, like it does kind of just, I don't know, like seem a little generic because just something to do with like the Federation. There's like something going on. They're trying to figure out what's going on here, and then it involves a planet. So it's really hard to say for the exact plot for me at least. So, but still, I still have a good time with it. So yeah, I'll vote Insurrection.
Yeah, Papa.
So fun fact, Star Trek Insurrection was one of the first Star Trek movies I ever watched. It was like 6-7 years ago. Shows how long I've been with the Star Trek franchise. But it was one of those like free watch with ads on Vudu. And I watched this movie and I'm like, why do people like Star Trek? This movie sucks. Sucks.
You didn't grow up with the cast, you probably with the show. Yeah.
I would watch an episode here and there. But this movie sucks. Y'all are all on some sort of drugs. Y'all need to share. Star Wars: The Clone Wars is so much better than Star Trek Insurrection.
Nope. Not that movie.
Yeah.
Not that movie. Sorry. All right. Got Aliens versus Alien 3.
Ooh, okay.
And not only
know where it's going.
just directly linked because one's a sequel, but one definitely does something to the characters from Aliens at the beginning of the movie. So, all right, Andy. And yeah, this came up in the wheel, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
All right.
I mean, this is a pretty easy choice. It's Aliens by a long shot. I mean, Aliens 3 is kind of a how-to on not what to do with a franchise, I feel like. So we'll go Aliens.
Yeah. I'm Steven.
Yeah, obviously Aliens is the one here. It's been a long time since I've seen Alien 3. I don't really remember that much of it other than I remember not caring much for it.
Yeah. Well, awesome.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm obviously voting for Aliens, but I am, you know, I've said it before on here, like I am an Alien 3 defender. Like I do like that movie, and I do think it's a little underrated. And about once a year, I go back and revisit it because I think there's interesting things about it, and it's still David Fincher, and there's a really good sort of British character actor cast, and some good stuff in it. So I mean, I do like it overall, but yeah, it's going to be against Aliens. So
yeah. Well, I'm still trying to fill my Aliens blind spots because before this, I'm like Prometheus or Alien 3. Which one do I watch? And I'm like, yeah, it's got to be Prometheus. Sorry, but so I haven't seen Alien 3, but I will see it like for sure. But yeah, Aliens though is great. Like it's just like maybe one of the best sci-fi movies ever made. Like it's just like great action from beginning to end, great lines of dialogue, like a great villain with Paul Reiser in there. That I think he's great, and then to get away from her, you bitch. Like it's an iconic line, you know. So yeah, I'll go with Aliens. Easy. Papa West.
Alien 3 is great. Very underrated. I will defend Alien 3 against almost any other movie on this list. Aliens is not one of them, though. Aliens is a lot better.
Yeah.
I wish Alien 3 had a different matchup.
Yeah, same here. I'd vote for it over a lot of the other shit on this list. Actually.
Can we trade Alien 3 and Star Wars Clone Wars? Like,
yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
No.
Let's do it. Richie?
Yeah, I also don't dislike Alien 3. It makes some decisions that I'm not, I wasn't, too thrilled by, but it's an overall it's a decent film. But yeah, it's going up against Aliens. So, I mean, I'd probably defend it more wholeheartedly if it was going up against something that I was, not a fan of or thought was okay. But it's Aliens. Aliens always going to do well in these tournaments. So yeah, Aliens.
Alien to the third power. Like, is there anything to that, or is that just a weird thing they do?
Well, that actually also they put out a teaser trailer that just had that Alien 3, and like before the movie was even finished, and they had a date on it and everything, and they had to like rush the movie to finish it. Yeah.
Oh wow, interesting.
Yep. Got Treasure Planet versus Solaris with George Clooney. All right, Steven.
It has been a long while since I've seen Solaris, but I remember liking it a lot. I mean, I love this kind of sci-fi, and you've got George Clooney. I think he gives a strong performance. Don't know whatever happened to Natasha McElhone. She just kind of disappeared. Viola Davis is in this. And I haven't seen Treasure Planet, so Solaris easily.
Yeah. Awesome.
She has been. I'm looking her up. She's still working. She's just mostly doing TV. She was on Designated Survivor at the Kiefer Sutherland show. So
that's the last thing I think I saw her in.
Yeah, she's still working. She's on a show right now called Hotel Portofino. It's I don't know, BritBox, whatever that is. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, basically what it says. It's just a streaming site with British shows.
For British shows, yeah. She's on a British show right now. So there you go. So. I actually saw Treasure Planet in the theater and remember it being kind of underrated and okay. So I haven't gotten around to both the Solaris movies yet, both that and the 70s one. I've been meaning to at some point, but I saw Treasure Planet. I think it's one of those underrated kind of later Disney. It's one of their last like 2D movies too, I think, if I remember right. So, but yeah, I'll go Treasure Planet.
I think Treasure Planet came out before Meet the Robinsons.
It did.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I saw Treasure Planet back in theaters when it was at least I remember it was like when I was in high school when it came out. So, but I remember that I really liking it. I've never seen Solaris, so I can't really say too much about it. The synopsis is kind of weird. He says that he has a weird erotic obsession with someone he thought he left behind. So I don't know what that's all about, but yeah, for Treasure Planet, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Martin Short, Emma Thompson, like a solid voice cast, and yeah, I remember liking it. I haven't gone back to it, but it's one that I definitely want to go back to. Like I want to go back and for our animation series, go back and watch some of these underrated animated movies. We're doing it for a tier ranker. We're going a decade by decade through all these animated movies. So yeah, I'll probably go back and give it a rewatch, and I'll vote for it here just because I haven't seen Solaris. So, Papa.
So I'm in a really weird spot right now, because last week I spent about 8 minutes bashing Treasure Planet. Richie remembers. If you know, you know. If not, whenever you see my Battleground match against Zach Shelton pop up, don't watch it. You know how it ends before you even start. But that being said, I really like Treasure Planet. I felt so bad bashing it because I really enjoy it. Solaris, I have no idea what this movie is. I know George Clooney is in it from that picture. It's on HBO Max. I'll probably never watch it, even though I'm going to say right now, I'm going to try to watch it.
It's a Steven Soderbergh movie. It's good.
Okay. I mean, that scene that I'm looking at looks like a decent scene. But Treasure Planet is better.
Yeah, we always say that. Like, I'll have to try and check that out. But then,
Well,
how often do we do that?
but I say the opposite when I go. Like, I'll never watch that movie, so I just flat out say that. Like,
Yeah.
Little Women,
Yeah.
I'm just like, no. Like, I'm not gonna say I'll get around to it. I'm just never gonna watch that movie. I'll never get around to it. Like, I better-
There are so many where I'm like, I really want to watch this. Like Richie, whatever that Australian movie, I think it's The Castle. That's like an airplane, whatever. I want to watch it. I just haven't gotten around to it.
No, there's things like that in my one too.
Yeah.
You just don't get around to it. Yeah, like obviously my
Richie?
huge blind spot are mostly Indiana Jones films. Anyway, I'll get around to it. Anyway, I'll try and get around to it before June or when that one comes out. But yeah, I'll reference his background. Only one of these movies has a farting alien in it, so I'll go Treasure Planet.
Yeah, sure. Andy.
One of these I'm horrified of, even though I've never seen it. I worked at a video store when Solaris came out, so I had to stock the shelves of that movie over and over. No one else wanted to rent it either, by the way. Treasure Planet, I saw in the theater. I actually enjoyed that, and that's, like I said earlier, from that bygone Disney era, everyone forgets about. Lilo and Stitch came out same time, Atlantis, all those good ones. So
yeah,
go Treasure Planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Treasure Planet. All right, we're almost there. We got Avatar: The Way of Water, most recent one, versus Lost in Space. Well, there you go. I've seen both of these. I saw Lost in Space at a friend's birthday party, and that was a bad birthday party because that movie sucked. And I was only like 12 at the time, and I was like, "Yeah, this movie sucks. It's not good." Even though it has a good cast, it's not good. Avatar: The Way of Water is not like the greatest movie ever or anything like that, but I thought it was better than the first one. So, that's an improvement. So I'll go Avatar.
Yeah. Danger, Will Robinson. Danger. I don't really remember a lot about Lost in Space. Like, I didn't know that the TV series that they have, I think it's on Netflix, is way better than the movie. I think Lost in Space didn't have like Matt LeBlanc and like it was weird. Like a weird cast, but and like Avatar, like I really dug it. I probably I'll say that I like this slightly more than the first one, but the more that I think about it though, like just all like style over substance for me, like it just kind of like I don't know, like the visuals are out of this world. I think like for the visuals, it might win an Oscar for it, but beyond that though, like I don't really know. Like if the more that I think about it, I'm kind of like, oh, like maybe not as great as I came. I'm kind of almost raving about it after I saw it, but I mean it's still better than Lost in Space. So, and I also think that the Avatar: Way of Water was too long. Maybe cut 30 minutes out of that and near the beginning, and it'd be a little better. But yeah, I'll vote Avatar. Papa?
This is me planting my flag on this hill because I am ready to die on this hill. Lost in Space is an underrated movie. Matt LeBlanc's character, his last name is West. That's an awesome last name.
Oh,
the robot that Jordan, you were alluding to, the Danger, Will Robinson. I think that's one of the. I used to have a toy that was that robot. I thought it was one of the coolest robot designs ever. There's also that weird monkey alien that I thought looked really cool.
Oh yeah.
And I hate Avatar. I have no intention of watching Avatar: Way of the Water because I hated the first one. I have no intention of watching the third, fourth, fifth, 28.
Not a big fan.
However many movies James Cameron comes out with associated with the Avatar universe. I don't care. Not getting anything from me. Lost in Space.
Yeah, that's fair. Richie, what do you think?
Well, yeah, Lost in Space is terrible. I'm sorry to give it the bear of the bad news. It's not a good movie. It killed Matt LeBlanc's prospects of a film career. he had to go back to Cuba and just do small parts. It's not good at all. Even when I saw this when I was young, and even I knew back then. Yeah, no, it's pretty bad. So I mean, it reminds me of like when you said you saw it at a birthday party. It reminds me when I saw for my birthday at around the same age. I'm like, oh yeah, let's go. I got all my friends together in New Zealand. I'm like, let's go see Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes. One of my friends stayed back and chilled. One of my friends stayed back and chilled at the motel, and I was.
Don't make mistakes.
But Lost in Space. But and I really liked the way what surprised me. I'm not a fan of the first Avatar at all. But I think this kind of correct. I think it's a lot more interesting. And I still don't know if I want to see all 5 or 6, whatever. Be a good trilogy, whatever. But
just stop the trilogy. It's like, come on.
I liked it. I liked Avatar: Way of Water more than I thought I was going to. Even though it is a bit too long. But Avatar.
Yeah. Well, Andy, what do you think?
I'm going to go something different here because of Papa West's argument, which I also hate Avatar. I have not seen the second one, nor do I desire to. I will die on that hill with you, and we will go Lost in Space.
Ooh. All right. Well, Steven?
Lost in Space is not great or even good, but I will say I loved Gary Oldman as Dr. Smith. And you've got William Hurt and Mimi Rogers, so you've got some really good actors in it. But I haven't seen Avatar: The Way of Water yet. But in Jim Cameron, I trust, so I will still vote for Avatar: The Way of Water.
You scared me for a bit there, Steven.
I was so scared. I was like, "Don't tell me Lost in Space is going to go through."
Wouldn't that have tied it though?
It would have tied it, but it would have gone to Papa, so you know where he's going. Yeah. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, that's good for a second. All right.
I don't know. Surprising things have happened before. Like we're an hour and a half into this, and we're done with the first half.
Yep, finally done.
Yeah, it's all right. We'll just speed up just a tad, Jordan, and we'll keep going.
Yeah. Okay.
Wolfman, Jordan. Oh, sorry, I got you confused.
Yeah. Confusion.
All right, so our first one over here will be Avatar versus Return of the Jedi.
There you go. Wow.
All right, Jordan.
This one's easy. I'll keep it short and sweet. This time, I did not care for the first Avatar, not really at all. And Return of the Jedi is my favorite Star Wars movie ever made, so I'll vote Return of the Jedi. Mm-hmm. So,
hey, Papa, what are you voting for?
Yeah.
So, I'm torn. Because this is not the correct poster for Return of the Jedi. Luke Skywalker has a green lightsaber in Return of the Jedi, not the stupid blue lightsaber. That being said,
in the original
Return of the Jedi is my favorite Star Wars movie. Avatar sucks worse than some Star Trek movies. Return of the Jedi, better move on.
Yeah.
Like I defended Way of Water before. Way of Water is really good. I wasn't looking forward to Way of Water basically because I didn't like Avatar. I thought Avatar was a very style over substance movie. I found myself bored throughout the movie. It probably didn't help the fact that like 20 minutes in, me and my friend both looked at each other and went, "Do you need to pee?" "Yeah, I need to pee." "Oh God, we got And I was like,
like two little girls. You're like, "Want to go to the bathroom together?"
Yeah.
But I was in like a gold class thing. They called gold class, and then they had to get me down the stairs. So if I wanted to pee, I had to go all the way back up there. So I'm like, I'm just gonna hold it.
Just be like, throw me down the stairs so we can have an excuse to get out of here.
The plus side. I was able to hold it in. Best piss I've ever had. Just putting out there. That's great. It was great. And Return of the Jedi. It's not my favorite Star Wars film, but I do dig it a lot. So it's pretty easy. Return of the Jedi.
I'm just baffled about how Avatar's a $2 billion movie. That is baffling to me. I just don't get it. But Andy, what do you think?
I mean, I can't say Avatar.
You said it last time. You're voting for Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Return of the Jedi. We'll go on.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. Sounds good. Steven?
So let me get this straight. They build the Death Star, and that gets defeated. So their backup plan is to build another one.
Bigger, much
Well,
bigger.
If at first you don't succeed, you try again.
Yeah, you know, I mean
Yeah, and in this one, you just make an even bigger hole, apparently.
Bigger is better.
Yeah.
If they tell you size doesn't matter, they're wrong.
Yeah, and they do it again in The Force Awakens, another Death Star.
Yeah.
Come
Uh,
Even
yeah.
bigger.
try again.
Yeah.
Listen to the great philosopher Aaliyah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not huge on Return of the Jedi, and I don't love Avatar. It's probably my least favorite James Cameron movie, but I still enjoyed it because, you know, it's still James Cameron. So I'm going to, you know, obviously Return of the Jedi is moving on, but I'm going to give my vote to Avatar.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Austin.
I mean, it's Avatar versus, you know, the original trilogy movies, which is what I grew up with. So, yeah, anything Star Wars, you know, first 3 Star Wars movies ever made is you know, it's hard to vote against that. So, yeah, easy Return of the Jedi on this one.
The one thing that I will say for Return of the Jedi, one of the best movies to do like different things going on at the same time. You had the Moon of Endor battle, then you got like a great space battle going on. Then you have Luke confronting Darth Vader. It's like just back and forth. It's just great.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff. All right, we got Alien Resurrection versus Serenity. All right, and we go to Papa back down there.
Yeah.
I'm kind of torn. I'm not a big Serenity fan. I am a Alien fan, and that includes Resurrection. Definitely the worst of all the Alien movies. I'd say it's better than Covenant, but that's not a huge hill to step on. But I'm going to go with Resurrection. Why not?
Yeah, sounds good. Richie, what do you think?
Again, I wasn't a huge Resurrection's fine, but I wasn't a huge fan of some of the decisions they made. And Serenity, I think it is like the I think it's really good. It was good, sort of almost no. It was good to see the characters back, considering how Firefly got unfairly canned. But so yeah, I'm gonna go Serenity.
Yeah, Andy, what do you think here?
I enjoyed Firefly. You know, so once again, you know, it was nice to see everyone back for, I guess, one more ride. I think this came after the show got canceled, so I'm gonna go Serenity.
Yeah, Steven.
I haven't seen all of Serenity. It was on TV, so I was watching some of it, and I'm actually not a fan of most of Joss Whedon's TV work. So I wasn't a big fan of Firefly, and so I was not expecting to like it. But I guess since he had an actual budget to work with, the movie was much better than I was expecting. I actually want to finish it one of these days. But I'm still going to go with Alien Resurrection because I actually enjoyed it, and I think it's underrated.
Yeah, sounds good. Austin.
Yeah, Serenity. I didn't watch Firefly, but I saw Serenity, and it was kind of boring. Like, I just wasn't into it, but I didn't have any love for Firefly, so it just didn't click with me. But yeah, I mean, all 4 of the original Alien movies I kind of dig, and Resurrection is just kind of wonderfully weird. I just like how fucking weird that movie is, and it's got a weird, interesting visual style, and Brad Dourif's weird in it, and Sigourney Weaver's weird in it, and fucking Ron Perlman's weird in it. It's got a weird dude in a wheelchair, Richie, who has a shotgun in his wheelchair, and then and Michael Wincott, who everybody's talking about from Nope, like he's really cool in that movie. Like he's a cool motherfucker in Resurrection. So yeah, I mean, I kind of dig it. I go back to it every now and then and watch it. I think it's fun. So I'll go Resurrection.
Yeah, I've never seen Alien Resurrection. It's one of the blind spots, so I'll get around to it eventually. But because I do intend to watch the whole series, but yeah, I'm a pretty big Serenity fan. Like, funny enough, like just by happenstance, I went to a bunch of different Comic-Cons, and I met like all the main cast of Serenity. I got a picture with Nathan Fillion. I met Summer Glau. I met Monterey Baccarin and Alan Tudyk, even Adam Baldwin. I've met all of them, so which is pretty cool. Because I think between 2 years at the same convention, they had like half the cast there, and the next year they had the other half of like what they didn't have the first year. So yeah, and yeah, because of that, and it made me want to go back and rewatch the series. I started watching it years ago because it's the girl that I dated, and she was really into it, so we watched some of it. But then I went back and finished it, and it's pretty good. Yeah, and I dig the movie, so yeah, I aim to misbehave. So Serenity. Yeah.
Oh, we have our first tie. So the tiebreaker, how it works, Andy, if you're not familiar, we just rotate one tie-breaking vote, and we rotate it up the ladder. So basically, it'll start with Papa West, and he has basically the ultimate power. And then if we have another tie, it'll go to Richie, and so on and so forth. But Papa, you can either vote for your original thing, or you can flip. You can flip if you have all the power. So Papa, you stick with Resurrection?
I have unlimited power right
yes.
now.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing. I don't really care about either of these movies. I do not care what moves on. So that being said, I'm going to pull a huge anarchy thing. Richie, give me a number between 1 and 10.
What are you putting on me? 7.
Sweet. Alien Resurrection.
What the number thing has to do with anything?
All right.
Yeah. Well, I've been kind of sleeping on the chat. Sorry, I'm just going to throw up a couple. You can say what you're going to say, but yeah, I don't think Chris would get along with you, Papa.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't matter because whatever it's going up against is going up against Return of the Jedi in the next round anyway, so it doesn't matter. All right, let's move it down. So we got High Life with Robert Pattinson versus Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Richie.
Yeah, I haven't seen High Life. It's probably one of the more the Pattinson films I haven't seen. And it wasn't huge on Guardians of the Galaxy 2, to be honest. We didn't like. Yeah, I think they made Drax too comedic, comical. Yes, this is tough. I guess I'll go with the one I've seen. I'll just go Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that movie.
Yeah, Andy, what do you think?
Yeah, I've never seen High Life. Guardians 2 was entertaining. Yeah, there were some questionable character choices that they did, but it was entertaining. So Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Yeah. Steven.
Guardians 2 is one of my least favorite MCU movies. High Life is odd but interesting, so I'll go with High Life.
Yeah,
I think I've been called that a few times. Odd but interesting.
Yeah, no, I'm with Steven. High Life is odd but interesting, and it's a total character movie. Like you basically just follow Robert Pattinson the whole time. Like there's not even a lot of dialogue. But I will say it does have one pretty gnarly scene where a girl gets fucked up by a black hole while she's in her spaceship. It's pretty gnarly. Like you see what happens if you get too close to a black hole in a spaceship, and it's pretty gross. I'll champion the underdog. I'll go High Life because I like that movie.
Yeah. Well, I'm not a big fan of Guardians of the Galaxy 2 either. Like, man, that movie had a lot of potential that just, I don't know, like got way too jokey, joke over and over again. And like, I don't really like what they did with Kurt Russell's character either. Like, it just, I don't know. And like, High Life just sounds really weird though. I've never seen it, but it sounds weird. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I would like it or not. I don't know. I mean, I'll give it to High Life, sure, because I just didn't like Guardians of the Galaxy 2, so yeah. Papa.
I wasn't paying attention, so I don't know what the vote is at right now. I have not seen High Life, but Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is one of the worst MCU movies. And it's mainly because of Drax. It gets to the point where it is unwatchable.
There you go.
Every joke that he throws
might sway you from Malcolm. A masturbation dog.
Yeah, it's like a futuristic fleshlight.
Weird.
But before Malcolm's comment, I was leaning towards High Life. After Malcolm's comment, I am really leaning towards High Life.
Oh, all right.
Well, High Life moves on. Oddly enough.
And now I have to explain to anybody who maybe who might come across it accidentally why I've got masturbation box in my Google searches.
All right. Interesting.
Well, I mean, if you won't question it, you're disabled, Richie. So
Yeah, sure.
you do what you got to do. What you got to do. I don't judge.
Yeah.
Got Star Trek Beyond versus Soldier. Actually, two Kurt Russell movies in a row.
Also, two very sort of similar sheet posters.
Yes, they're kind of similar. But yeah, Andy.
I remember seeing Soldier once, I think when I was a kid, Star Trek Beyond, actually, that's the one I like the most out of the new trilogy. I really liked everything they kind of did with that, did a little something outside the box, getting back to kind of the more old school Star Trek, oddly enough, in a weird way, but I'm going to go with Beyond.
Yeah. Steven.
I like 09 a little bit more, but I do like Star Trek Beyond a lot. Soldier, I haven't seen in a long time, but I remember being, entertaining, almost kind of like a guilty pleasure. And but I'm definitely going with Star Trek Beyond.
Yeah. Well, Austin.
Yeah, Soldier's interesting because it's like we got Kurt Russell, this really charismatic actor, and he has a character where he has 10 lines in the whole movie where he just doesn't talk. But I'm due for a rewatch on that one. I got it in one of my little 4-pack Kurt Russell things or whatever. But yeah, Beyond was pretty fun. I need to revisit that one too. I haven't seen it since the theater, but I remember having a good time. Who knew that bringing in a Fast and Furious director for Star Trek would be pretty fun. So
yeah,
Star Trek, because Justin Lin, that was the one he directed. So
yeah. Yeah. I haven't seen Soldier, so and I was actually really surprised by Star Trek Beyond. I actually had a really great time. I like what they did with Sofia Boutella in the movie, kind of leading them around this planet and the things that they kind of run into, and it's another case where I went in with low expectations because I hated the Star Trek Beyond trailers with that Beastie Boys music. I thought that felt so out of place to me. It just I'm like, what are they doing here? But then the movie was actually really good. So I haven't seen Soldier, so I'll go with Star Trek Beyond. So Papa.
So there are 2 Star Trek movies I have not seen. Beyond is one of them. That being said, I also haven't seen Soldier. So I'm kind of in a weird predicament here. That being said, I love Kurt Russell. So why not? Let's go with Soldier. It needs a vote.
Sure, yeah. Richie.
Isn't Soldier from Paul W.S. Anderson?
Sure.
I can't remember. Maybe. I'm looking it up. Hang on, I'll find it. Yeah, actually, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, there's a way better Paul W.S. Anderson movie coming up on this list.
Yeah,
a way better one.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same boat as Andy. I think I've seen Soldier when I was a kid, but again, probably I watched a lot of movies that probably were way over my head as a kid, and I probably should revisit as an adult. Yeah, the benefits and also negatives of having a dad that worked at a video store. So I would just watch anything that came in. So I might as well have to say I haven't seen it. Star Trek Beyond is really good. I enjoy everything about it, and it's probably my second favorite Star Trek movie of that new trilogy. And I thought Idris Elba was really good as a villain. So Star Trek Beyond.
All right.
Yeah.
Star
Trek Beyond.
There we go. Okay. We got Disney's The Black Hole versus Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock.
Ooh.
All right, Steven.
Haven't seen The Black Hole, and Star Trek 3 I've always liked. I mean, the scene when they steal the Enterprise is great, and Christopher Walken is the Klingon that kills.
You mean Christopher Lloyd?
Christopher Lloyd, yeah, not Walken.
Yeah, Walken, that'd be a way different movie.
Way different.
That
I really enjoy Gok. It's a great Klingon dish. It's good.
We're going to take you to war.
It's a great day to die.
He's been pulled out.
That'd be a way different Klingon.
Yeah.
The Klingon that kills Kirk's son.
All right.
Yeah. And the ending, of course, when Spock returns to normal. Great. So, yeah, Star Trek 3 for me.
Yeah. Austin.
Yeah, I also haven't gone back and watched the Black Hole. I probably should. I have a big gap in a lot of those like 70s and 80s Disney movies that I need to fill in, like even some of their animated stuff from around that time. But I'll get to them eventually. Those ones I actually will get to eventually. I'm not going to say like I'll never watch it. I will get to those eventually. Now that they're all on Disney Plus. But yeah, I think Star Trek 3 is okay too. I really like Christopher Lloyd. I'm a big Christopher Lloyd fan, so just about anything he's in, I'll watch. And yeah, he's pretty good in that movie, so he'll put it over for me for this one. So I'll say Star Trek 3.
Yeah, and I have not seen either one of these movies. I mean, I was debating which Star Trek movie to watch for this, and I went with the Undiscovered Country just because I didn't want to see a movie without Spock. So I'm like, I'll just go with the other one. I mean, sure, he's maybe in it at the end, but I haven't seen it. So, but
and Star Trek 6 is better, so you did choose the right one in terms of
well, that's good because but the Black Hole though, I have seen almost every Disney movie from that era. I grew up on those. My dad would show us all of those, but I never got around to seeing the Black Hole though. That's just one that I missed. It looks like it has Robert Forster and also Anthony Perkins from Psycho in it. So yeah, that's enough for me. So I'll vote for the Black Hole. Yeah. Papa.
So I do not like Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, but the one great moment where you have the feels hitting you is when Spock dies. It's like, oh no, Spock died. And then they bring him back, and everything that was good about Star Trek Wrath of Khan is null and void. And I don't have to care about that moment anymore. And Search for Spock just ruins so much, and it's great. False. Search for Spock sucks. Obviously, the Black Hole's getting my vote. Obviously.
Yeah. Well, Richie, what do you think?
Yeah, I haven't seen the Black Hole. Yeah. I will say I'll get around to it. Probably not. But not gonna lie. If it shows up on radar, maybe. But I don't. I have a feeling this might not show up on my radar after this for a long time.
We're gonna have a tournament of old school live action Disney movies.
Maybe.
Richie, so you're gonna have to watch it. Right?
Yeah, sure. But yeah, like Search for Spock is decent, so I'll go there.
Yeah.
All right,
Andy.
I have actually not seen either one of these. And maybe I've seen bits and pieces of Search for Spock. I wasn't much of a Star Trek person really growing up, and I haven't seen Black Hole. So I'll go Search for Spock just because we'll keep the Star Trek train going.
All right.
Yeah.
At least get a few of them through for Steven overall. See what happens. A few of them have gone through, so we'll see.
Yeah.
We have Pitch Black versus Revenge of the Sith. All right. I went first. Yeah, this is an interesting match that I forgot was in this bracket. Because I make these like 2 or 3 weeks in advance, so sometimes I forget what the hell's going on. Unless it's something like that second match where it was like Star Wars versus Wrath of Khan. I was like, I remember that. I haven't gone back to Pitchback a lot. I do remember enjoying it, but Revenge of the Sith is my favorite of the prequels, and oddly enough, probably one of my top 5 Star Wars movies. I go back to it quite a bit. I dig a lot about it, even though it feels kind of rushed, but there's enough to like there. So I'll go Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah. I think that for me, Pitch Black might be my favorite of the Riddick trilogy, just because I like it. They go to the city and they're like all in darkness and like all that stuff. I think that's a little more fun than some of the other ones, but it's no Star Wars. I mean, yeah, the Revenge of the Sith, that's my favorite of the original trilogy. I just like it because a lot happens in this movie. Or sorry, the like prequel, like whatever, the one that's supposed to be first. Yeah. They're doing a lot with it. They really progressed the whole Anakin stuff. They're like going to different planets. There's like some cool stuff they're doing with Obi-Wan. Like it's just like a really good time, and it gets dark in like all the right places. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Revenge of the Sith. So, Papa.
This one does hurt for me right here, right in my heart, because I love Star Wars. I've said it so many times today. I want to say it so many more. And I do love the Riddick franchise. Pitch Black is just that fun. Yeah, fun sci-fi horror movie. I kind of had a fear of darkness because of this movie. But that being said, the Battle of Mustafar is amazing. That fight in and of itself should win this whole tournament. It's not going to win the whole tournament, but it's one of the best lightsaber duels in all of Star Wars. I said what I said. Duel of the Fates, come at me. I'm gonna have to give it to Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah. Sounds good. Richie.
So yeah, this would be more clear cut if it was Attack of the Clones, which I'm sure comes soon. And I revisited Pitch Black recently. It's all right. It maintains to be a solid movie. Not amazing, but not shit. And Revenge of the Sith is probably my favorite of the prequel trilogy. I think it. I actually like it. So I'll go Star Wars here.
Yeah, sounds good. Andy.
I think everyone else has pretty much said what I was going to say, so I'm going to just go with Revenge of the Sith too.
Yeah. Well, Steven.
Yeah, Revenge of the Sith pretty easily. Pitch Black is okay, but just okay to me.
All right, Revenge of the Sith. Moving on, and scrolling down, we've got Moon, Sam Rockwell, versus Star Trek Nemesis. All right, Jordan.
Yeah, like I think the Star Trek Nemesis is probably actually my least favorite of the Next Generation stuff. Like it just, I mean, I don't know. Like I think Tom Hardy's playing a weird villain. Like I don't know, just kind of so. Like the one for me that feels more like a hyped up episode. But I mean that's not knocking it too much because I freaking love Next Generation. I mean I've been going back and rewatching episodes just recently. I did it this week, and like once I start one, it's like I'll start one like intending to watch one episode, and then before I know I've watched like 5. But Moon though, like the one I came to recently, and yeah, like I think that it's one of Sam Rockwell's best performances. That like he's really really good. Like it, and I always say that about Sam Rockwell that he's never given a bad performance in my eyes. I think like everything that he does has been solid, and yeah, just like him just kind of being alone on the space station and like chaos and crazy things happen like one after the next, and like it's just really well done. So yeah, I got to give it to Moon. So, Papa.
Nemesis is the other Star Trek movie I've never seen. I've heard okay stuff about it. It's just when I go through the rewatch, I watch Insurrection and I'm like, wow, this movie sucks, and it automatically makes me turn off the entire Star Trek franchise. Moon also have not seen, but it's on HBO Max. I might watch it. Who knows? Not me. That's for sure. I'm definitely so Barber, and some of y'all do this where if I had to watch one today, which one would it be? Hey, if you force me, like, Papa, you have to watch one of these movies. I'll watch Moon. Why not? Moon gets my vote.
You should watch Moon. It's really good.
Yeah, I think you really like Moon. Yeah, it's great. But Richie.
Yeah, Star Trek Nemesis is not. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it, and Moon is kind of underrated, I guess. I really dig it. I mean, it's not underrated. I just think maybe it's underseen. But yeah, and I just think Doug Jones, right? Duncan Jones. He started off like really well in it, and then he did Warcraft and stuff. But this is a decent movie, Warcraft. And it's a really good for Sam Rockwell, and gonna personifies why he's one of my favorite actors working today. So it's pretty easy. I'll go Moon.
And apparently he did a movie on Netflix called Mute that is not very good either, from what I see.
Yeah, actually, I defend that movie, but it's not wonderful. I don't mind that. It's got Paul Rudd and Alexander Skarsgård and a couple people.
And also, Moon, it might be the best way to consume Kevin Spacey right now because he's not on screen. He's just the voice of the computer. So you don't have to see his face. But Andy?
Wow, Nemesis is really bad. I like to call it the Batman and Robin of the Star Trek franchise because they had to reboot after that. I'm sorry, I had to say it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Moon, but I love Sam Rockwell, so I'm sure it's got to be really good. So I'm gonna go Moon.
Moon actually made my 128. I think it's not like that good, but Steven.
I really wanted to see Moon before this, but unfortunately, I just didn't get around to it. If this was tomorrow night, since I don't work tomorrow, I would have seen it before the show, but I didn't get around to it because I love source code. So I'll even though it does seem like Duncan Jones kind of fell off a cliff after source code, because of how much I love source code, I want to see this, and of course Sam Rockwell is always awesome. But since I haven't seen it, and I think Star Trek Nemesis is underrated, although I will say I don't know why they cast Tom Hardy as someone who's supposed to be a clone of Picard when Tom Hardy looks nothing like Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
But
way younger, way more buff, a lot of that. Yeah.
But I still loved Star Trek Nemesis, so I'll go with Star Trek Nemesis.
Yeah. Well, Austin?
Yeah, Moon is really good, and Nemesis is not great. It's still kind of watchable, but you know who plays a good young Picard? James McAvoy. But it was like 10 years before that movie, so I guess they wouldn't have done that. That would have been good back then. But I'll vote for Moon because it's really good.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds good.
All right. All right. So we got the original Dune versus Rise of Skywalker. All right. Papa.
No.
No.
Pass.
Pass. Yeah.
No. I do find Dune boring and bad, but I find it kind of towards that edge where it is so bad it's good. So I'm gonna go with Dune.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, Richie?
I haven't seen David Lynch's Dune. I don't know, just from people describing it, it's not like something I would be totally interested in, even though I might get around to it at some point. So I haven't watched the remake yet, and I probably want to watch that before part 2 of Dune. So I'll get around to it. But yeah, I didn't mind Rise of Skywalker as much as other people did. I got some issues with it, but but overall I thought it was okay. So I'll go Star Wars.
Yeah. Well, Andy, what do you think?
I've never seen the older Dune. I've seen the newer one. Rise of Skywalker. Oh man, it just feels like so many movies into one. Like they just didn't know what to do. But it has parts of it that are really good. I will just go with Star Wars.
Yeah. Steven.
So, Rise of Skywalker is a funny thing because I think if I watch it as just its own thing, its own movie, I think it's an entertaining movie. But when you try to fit it in with the other two, it just, and I think bringing Palpatine back was just
stupid.
Yeah. And there's no build up to it. It's just right at the very beginning.
Yeah, it's almost like another movie called Halloween Ends that some people defend.
It's in the crawl. It's in the crawl. Palpatine has returned.
Well, just because you write it in the crawl doesn't mean you refer to it in the other two movies. But
we're doing it. Why not? We're doing it.
So, and I saw Dune when I was in high school in my theater arts class, and I remember thinking it was boring. So I'm going to go with Rise of Skywalker just because it's still, I think it's an entertaining movie when you look at it on its own.
Well, the Palpatine stuff is about as weird as like what they did with the Return of the Jedi that just made Luke and Leia siblings after they shared a kiss on screen. It's like okay, but
Yeah, and actually,
yeah, but I'm tired of that Empire shit because she clearly just plants one on Luke without knowing that to make Han jealous for like 3 seconds. That's
yeah,
not
but you
like
can kind of tell they didn't really have
romantic
any
thing.
direction doing that. They didn't plan that to happen in advance. I don't think.
Yeah, Palpatine, though, if I remember correctly, doesn't have much of a build up in Return of the Jedi either, though, right?
But he's in Empire. He's at least in Empire.
Yeah, yeah, he's in Empire.
Yeah,
but what do you think, Austin?
It's a whole big pile of no for both of these movies. I'm not a David Lynch guy, and that original Dune is boring as shit. But then Rise of Skywalker is like a really bafflingly bad movie. So, I guess I'll go Star Wars, just because Dune bores the shit out of me. So yeah, but you get a pass.
Well, I've never seen the original Dune. I just seen the newer one, and the newer one was actually good. Like I actually liked it, but yeah, this Star Wars movie though, I think it's a complete pile of trash garbage. I don't even know what they're even doing here. Like they're just all fan service. There's nothing really. There's no substance to it. It's just not. It's terrible. And for me, like it's almost the worst Star Wars movie ever made to me. Like it's that bad. I mean the Attack of the Clones though, like it kind of is like on that level bad for me. So yeah, I can't vote for it. So I'll just vote for Dune, even though I've never seen it. So
this time it'll be Star Wars.
Yeah.
All right. Go to Alien, the original, versus Empire Strikes Back.
Oh man, there's your championship.
I told you there was another one on here.
Yeah.
There you go. So yeah, unfortunately, this is what can happen in the first round of tournament fights when I spin the wheel.
Yeah.
So yeah, Richie, sorry.
Oh well, yeah, of course. Well, anyway, yeah. Obviously, yeah, I love Alien. I think it's it's just one of the best sci-fi movies of all time. But yeah, Empire's up there as well. And it's amazing. Just because I'm more of an Aliens guy, and Empire was in my 128, I'll go Empire.
Yeah. Andy, what do you think here?
I'm going Empire. There's just too much nostalgia, and growing up as a kid with that movie, I didn't see Alien till later in life, but yeah, Empire.
Yeah. Steven?
There's a part of me that wants to go with Alien just to make it so that Empire doesn't go too far. But no, I'm going with Empire.
Good. Yeah. Austin?
Yeah, this is definitely tough, but yeah, when it comes down to it, I'm kind of similar to Richie, where Empire is in my top 100 and Alien isn't. But it's not a slight against Alien because it's a very good movie every time I watch it. But I've seen it, 1% of the times I've seen Aliens because I've seen Alien 5 or 6 times, sat down and watched it, and I've seen Aliens about 200 or 300 times. So, yeah, it's not even close. So, yeah, I'll go Empire, but it sucks because Alien, if it was going up against half of this other bracket, I would definitely put it through for sure.
Yeah. This one's tough, man, because, yeah, Empire for me, I do think it's great, but it's my third favorite Star Wars movie. But still, it's, I don't know, it's just Empire, it's just that good, and Aliens is great too. I mean, Ripley, we got introduced to her in this, and then just all the horror of Alien, because it is a horror movie, and it's just there's so many twists and turns. It's probably even I'll say for as much as I like the movie Life and I'll defend it, this does it way better as far as an alien loose on a ship. So yeah. But even still, I gotta stick with Empire because the same reasoning. It's in my 128. Aliens, it just isn't quite there. So yeah, Empire. Papa.
Sweet. My vote doesn't matter. With that being said, I'm gonna give my vote to Alien for the simple fact of my vote doesn't matter. I do love both of these movies. I will say Alien, one of the very few horror movies that I like and am a fan of. Just this creature that you barely see, just picking apart all these crew members one by one. The direction is fantastic. I will say, like, the one thing that kind of draws me away from it is there's that jump scare where it's in the vent and it has jazz hands, like it's doing that thing. Which gets a little weird.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's a pretty perfect movie. So because nobody else gave it any love, I'm going to give Alien love, but Empire is better. But I'm voting for Alien love.
Yeah. Let's go with some Alien love.
Yeah, right. But
I don't know what that would be.
I do remember as a kid though that the chest burster scene, like it really scared me as a kid. Like that the image stuck in my head. So it just zooms out of there.
Got Gravity versus Episode 1. Andy.
Oh man, I mean this is pretty easy actually. I'm gonna go with Gravity. Just the sheer disappointment that Episode 1 gave me. So and Gravity was just something so different. You hadn't really seen anything like that and kind of doing it that way. So I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah. Steven.
Gravity is one of the best 3D experiences I ever had. Watching that movie in 3D was awesome. Because I have an inkling as to where this is probably going to go. It's not one of the better Star Wars movies, but it does have Liam Neeson, and it does have one of probably the best, in my opinion, the best lightsaber fight. And Duel of the Fate is one of my favorite pieces of music from John Williams, period, let alone from the Star Wars franchise. I will give it to Phantom Menace.
Yeah. Austin. What do you think?
Episode 1. I definitely have mixed feelings about. I think it's watchable overall. There's definitely some really cringy shit in it throughout the whole thing. I actually had to argue for this was Natalie Portman's worst performance on Battleground because I think it is because she's just so monotone. We must get help. What the fuck are you doing? But I really, really like Gravity. I've gone back to it a couple times. I like a good space survival movie. People just trying to figure out one problem to the next and just trying to survive. I dig it. So I'm going to go with Gravity.
Yeah. Well, I have a little bit of a hot take. I think Gravity is boring as shit. Like, I just do not care for that movie. I remember, like, almost walking out of it. I was so bored. I was like, what are we doing? Just two people floating around in space, and I guess they're trying to survive, but it's just not doing anything for me. I wish there was just more people in it, more things going on. Which I say that now, but like Moon didn't have hardly anyone, and I love that movie. So, but I mean, yeah, like I don't know, it just didn't do it for me. But Episode 1, I'll defend that movie. Like, not everything's great in it, but the Duel of the Fates, the pod racing stuff, Liam Neeson's great in it. Like, I think that they create some really cool looking worlds and like new ships. They bring a lot of color and life to Star Wars, where like before it was just kind of black and white. That like to kind of signify good versus evil, that kind of thing. But yeah, so I'll vote for Episode 1.
Yeah, and Jordan has got one of the top 8 greatest villains of all time with Darth Maul over Emperor Palpatine. Am I right?
Yeah. Darth Maul over Emperor Palpatine. Let's go. He's freaking menacing. When I look at Darth Maul, I'm way more scared than when I look at Palpatine.
Oh my god, y'all infuriated me with that episode.
And he can fight better with the lightsaber, way, way better than Palpatine.
Oh my
could.
God, yeah.
I mean, Darth Maul looks cool, but Palpatine is such a master manipulator that he's just a more compelling character.
I don't know. Not for me, but yeah.
Yeah, Darth Maul in his one scene is the greatest.
I'll still defend it.
All right, anyways, West.
It's got some multiple scenes. They're short, but yeah.
So let's ask ourselves a question. who would win in a fight, Darth Maul and Emperor Palpatine? You don't have to guess. There's an episode in the Clone War TV show where Palpatine destroys Darth Maul. Destroys him. That being said, Darth Maul is a great villain. I was so glad they brought him back in the Clone Wars TV show because he was so good in Phantom Menace, not Empire Strikes Back. I wish he was in Empire Strikes Back. He's so good in Phantom Menace, mainly because of Duel of the Fates and also that little fight on Tatooine. He doesn't talk much. There's a reason he doesn't talk much, because he shouldn't talk. And then also in Rebels. He's great in Rebels. I'm going with Phantom Menace. Duel of the Fates, not the best lightsaber fights in the prequels. Steven, I have to correct you there. The Battle of Mustafar is much better. There's just so much more emotion going on in that. But Duel of the Fates is definitely up there. And one thing that helps it is the music. John Williams' score, just in general, is amazing. I will also defend the pod racing scene. I don't like the announcers, but if you get past the announcers, the pod racing scene.
Like Greg Proops in the dual role?
Yeah, whoa, Quadranero's blown another power coupling or whatever.
Down goes Quadranero.
Little Eddie Skywalker's catching up.
Yeah.
But I did have a lot of fun in Phantom Menace. And because of that, we're going to go with Phantom Menace.
Yeah. Richie.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of Phantom Menace. But yeah, and in fact, when you do hear Darth Maul talk, it's voiced by Peter Serafinowicz. But yeah,
really, I didn't know that. Oh.
Yeah, the guy is Ray Park, but then the voice is Peter Serafinowicz.
I met Ray Park. He's cool.
And those aspects, I don't mind the pod racing. But yeah, I feel like if you're doing a Star Wars movie, especially when you're trying to cater to families who are trying to introduce Star Wars to your kid, maybe they go, oh, look, what would kids like? I don't know, like trade meetings. That's something that's something that's me interesting.
They like talks about taxes. That's what they really like.
They like that's what they really like. Oh, like maybe because adults have to sit through it, but maybe we should introduce a character that's not going to be grating after.
I don't think adults even like that stuff.
Oh no, we won't. We'll introduce Jar Jar, and then I like again. There's aspects of episode 1 I like. I do feel like Jake Lloyd got a fit. I mean, it sucks because I don't think he's like absolutely terrible in it. But yeah, it's weird. Imagine being like he got bullied for being a Star Wars movie. That should be like the coolest thing. It's like I'm in a Star Wars movie. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm in a Star Wars movie and you're not. Fuck you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just weird. But yeah, and I like Gravity. I think not having it two people, it kind of adds more to the kind of the tension and the direness of the situation. Yeah, only two people having to work it out. And yeah, I found it really good and one of the best movies that came out that year. So this is pretty easy for me because it's not the worst Star Wars movie I've seen, but it's up there. So I'll go Gravity.
You mean down there?
Yeah.
All right, we have first tie we've had in a while, and it goes to Richie.
Gravity.
Wait, Richie, can I lobby real quick?
What?
I allowed you to help vote for whatever movie I voted for. Will you let me help you vote for a movie to go through here?
You did. You did, but like Phantom Menace sucks, so Gravity.
Would it be hilarious?
All right, got another Star Wars, got Last Jedi versus Star Wars.
Oh man!
Oh my god!
Oof. All right, Steven.
You know what? The romance between Padme and Anakin doesn't work at all. Obviously, some of the dialogue is awful. There's no chemistry between Hayden Christensen and Natalie Portman. But I like everything else about the movie. Any scene with Ewan McGregor is great. And the last 45 minutes of that movie is awesome, especially the really fun lightsaber fight between Yoda and Count Dooku. I guess this is going to be hard for everyone, but for me, it's hard because I like both of these movies. But I'm going to go with Attack of the Clones.
All right, Austin.
Yeah, it's hard for me as well because I don't like either one of these movies.
That's what I said. Of course.
You said you like both those movies.
No, I know. I said it's hard for me because I like both of them.
Well, it's hard for me because I hate both these movies.
Yeah, I know.
I do not like The Last Jedi. I think some of the character decisions in that movie are baffling, and just some of the shit is just I don't understand it. Captain Feminism on the fucking ship making all the decisions is weird, and fucking yeah, like all that fucking, and then Attack of the Clones is easily the worst of the prequels. Like that movie's fucking terrible for that like first 2 hours. I'll go Attack of the Clones because it has Sam Jackson in it. That's my only reasoning. Sam Jackson, lightsaber. That's all I got. That's all I got.
Yeah, these are like two of the worst Star Wars movies. They're bad, and it's like for the last Jedi. Yeah, there's just weird stuff in it. Like Carrie Fisher becomes a weird ghost and floats back inside the ship, or it's just I don't know. And like they go to like a cool casino planet and they just do something really stupid. And
they're
I don't know why they even go there. Yeah, they're gonna free the animals. It's like what? Okay,
what are we doing? What is this side mission shit in like a video game? This is dumb.
Yeah, and then they waste even more characters because they don't give like Poe anything to do except for the beginning, and kind of has some dumb jokes too in the beginning, and then. Like Maz Kanata is another wasted. She's just on a screen. It's like
Finn's literally asleep for half that movie.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they're like this, like not doing anything with these characters. Then you have one cool thing where like they do the light speed through the ship and cut it in half. That's like my only positive of the whole movie, but like basically. But and man, like I never thought that I would have more positives for Attack of the Clones, but it's like there's at least the like little asteroid chase with like Jango Fett and Boba Fett and like I don't know. There's some cool lightsaber battle.
I love the sound design in that battle. The
sound design's awesome.
Like, that thing is awesome. Like that. Some of the sound design is good. Like some of those scenes are okay. And
then at the beginning too, when they're like cruising around the city and like they're you have Anakin kind of jumping from ship to ship too. That looks cool too. So there's a few things I still can't stand either one of these movies, but like the more I think about it, like the Attack of the Clones, I've always said is the movie I hate the most of any Star Wars movie. But like the more I think about it, the Last Jedi just sucks. So I'm gonna go with Attack of the Clones, I guess. So surprised myself, but Papa.
This one is not hard for me. Attack of the Clones is the worst live-action Star Wars movie, or second worst live-action Star Wars movie. I forgot Rise of Skywalker existed. I really like The Last Jedi. If I sit down and watch it without thinking of the sequel trilogy, I love this movie. The Holdo maneuver is amazing. The battle on Crate, I had to think of what that planet was called, between Kylo Ren and Luke Skywalker is amazing. This whole new Force Skype power is awesome. And then they ruin it in whatever that movie is. That one we don't talk about, that crappy one.
What about the throne room scene? That scene's awesome too.
It does that crazy fight between Rey and Kylo versus the guards.
That one shot. It's all one shot.
The fact that Snoke dies. What? And then
what's the point of Snoke? I don't even know.
They ruin it by everything else. By itself, The Last Jedi, great movie. I love it. It should go on. It's not its fault that Rise of Skywalker did it. It's not.
Yeah. each movie has like one good scene or two. That's it. But Richie.
Yeah, I also think Attack of the Clones is the worst Star Wars film. I can't stand this movie. I think I think it's just the dialogue, especially it's so bad, and I think it genuinely hurt Hayden Christensen's career. just I don't know. I find it largely boring as well. And just decisions are baffling. Not that there's not decisions that are baffling in Last Jedi. Certainly some things there that I don't agree with, but I think at the end of the day I have more enjoyment out of it, and I like Rian Johnson, so I'll go I'll go Last Jedi. I'll go Star Wars, even though they're both Last Jedi.
Well, at least Attack of the Clones connects to the other two. Like Last Jedi doesn't even connect to anything. It's weird.
Yeah.
but Andy,
I think Rise of Skywalker is the one that doesn't connect.
well, they both don't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You get a story from The Force Awakens to The Last Jedi. That's a story. And then Rise of Skywalker happens, and they're like, well, we actually wanted this to happen and this to happen.
Yeah.
But I will say, I Hate Sand is much better writing than What Does God Need with a Spaceship?
Yeah. Well, Andy.
I'll just make it short and sweet. We've had so much. I Last Jedi. Episode 2 doesn't do it for me. It's boring, and a further point why George Lucas shouldn't be allowed to like dialogue, which is just some of that dialogue in there is terrible. So I'm gonna go Last Jedi.
All right. Well, Andy, you gonna stick with that because you got the tiebreaker? I'm assuming.
Yeah, let's stick with it. Let's let Last Jedi through.
All right. All right. Well, let's see what'll beat the Last Jedi in the next round.
Yeah.
Malcolm's comment: "Life is a House" came out before Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
All right. So we got the new Dune versus Supernova.
Interesting. Who's up first now?
Me. Yeah, I haven't seen Supernova. Haven't seen Dune either, but I've got it on 4K, and I will actually get around to it. And I know what it is. So,
it's really nice on the 4K. It's really
nice. So I will crank that up. So I'll go with Dune because I'm much more likely to like that one, I think, than the David Lynch one, from everything I heard.
Yeah, I don't really know anything about Supernova. Like, you're looking at the cast, though. It's got Jane Spader. It's got Robert Forster in there, so there's that. But I don't know anything about it. So, and Dune was good. I wasn't like crazy about it, like saying like it's one of the best movies, but it was really good, and I'm actually looking forward to the next one. So yeah, I'll vote for Dune. Yeah. Papa.
Oh my God, there's like 3 credited directors on Supernova. So
Really?
It's a Walter Hill movie, but Francis Ford Coppola and Jack Sholder are also uncredited. And yet the movie still has a 4.8 on IMDb and a 19 on Metacritic. Yikes.
Yikes.
They probably started working on it, realized it wasn't going to be good. It's like look, I don't want
somebody to finish this movie.
I don't want to be credited for this. Just.
Well, if that was the case, they should have made it an Alan Smithy joint.
Alan Smithy
joint. And I just noticed that it has Wilson Cruz in it, who's actually in Star Trek Discovery. He plays the like medical officer guy. So yeah.
So we should know Supernova's bad. It says it on the poster. All hell's about to break loose. It's not good. Not good. That being said, I did say that the old Dune, I find it borderline so bad it's good. The new Dune is so good it's actually kind of good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't seen either of these yet, but I didn't know Supernova existed until about 2 minutes ago. And I'm more than likely going to watch Dune because I like the cast, and I'll go.
It's got Batista in it, right? Isn't he?
Got Batista in it, Rebecca Ferguson, who I like, and
Well, again, another reason why Batista is probably the best wrestler working today. He's got more range in all these different roles.
Yeah. And I'm looking forward. The more I see trailers of Knock at the Cabin, the more I'm looking forward to it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, same.
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah. Man. Andy, yeah.
Dune was my #1 movie of the year. It came out. I saw it on IMAX. Just phenomenal movie. I'm so excited for the sequel this year, so I'm going with Dune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least it's getting a sequel, unlike the other one, continuing the story.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Steven?
Supernova. I can't say that it's a good movie because obviously it's not. But it was kind of a guilty pleasure. Dune. I'm almost Dune is only half a movie, so it's hard to know how much I'm gonna actually like it until the next one comes out.
Yeah, I'm tempted to just wait on my watch till like a week before the new one comes out, then I can go to the theater and watch the second part.
I think they're doing 3 parts plus the TV show.
Yeah, but I might wait till then.
Here's the thing: there's been movies where there's multiple movies telling one story, but that each of them have satisfying endings on their own.
You're going underwater,
You're going underwater, Steven.
Yeah, you're underwater.
Dune just ends. It doesn't have a satisfying conclusion. But I'll still
but it's not really supposed to. Yeah. Yeah.
They're still voting for it, so
yeah.
Go through. All right.
But yeah, like I remember on my last, just real quick, on my last YouTube channel I was a part of, I remember I was really excited for Dune, and then we did a most anticipated, and I was the only one that brought it up, and people were looking at me with like crickets. I'm like the trailers for Dune look freaking awesome, and then they're like, okay, well you're the only one, all right. Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy versus Predators.
Yeah.
It's the only Predator movie on this list because that one actually takes place on the Predator planet, or their game preserve planet. So
no, it's an undisclosed planet, but not where the Predators are from.
I said the Predator game preserve planet. That's what I just said, Papa. But
you said Predator planet first.
I said the Predator game preserve planet. That's exactly what I said. But you didn't let me finish. You decided to interrupt me before I literally said it myself. But so why don't you see the next couple endings out? All right, Jordan, you're up first.
Yeah, I haven't seen Predators. That was on my list of movies to watch, but I just didn't have enough time, so I didn't get to Predators. But Guardians of the Galaxy is freaking awesome. I mean, I don't think there's a lot that you can say that hasn't already been said. Just a great team up of like these crazy characters who would ever thought that we would ever want a talking tree and a talking raccoon and Dave Bautista playing like a big, like crazy buff alien guy, like all that stuff. And then I'm such a big fan of all these characters. Like my gaming tag is Starlord 83616. So if you want to find me on any gaming or Twitch, just look up Starlord 83616 and you'll find me there. So I'll vote for Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh, and also shout out to the mixtape, which is like one of the best soundtracks. So yeah. Papa?
I'm gonna praise Predators for a little bit. Why not? Because I'm probably gonna be the only one who likes Predators.
I don't think so. Just you wait.
I'm still doing it. I really enjoy Predators. I really enjoy the Predator franchise. I had a conversation with a coworker. He wants to see Predators versus Samurai. Fun fact: you get that in this movie with the one Yakuza member. I do really enjoy these mixing of all these random characters that have no business being together. Throw them together, see how they do. Lawrence Fishburne pops up, kind of that crazy, he's seen stuff kind of guy. I really like his character. Not a big fan of the Topher Grace reveal. You should know, hey, there are all these bad people here. Why do they throw one random guy? Probably because he's a bad dude. But other than that, I do really enjoy it. And then Adam Brody's trying to talk to a predator to get him to fight his other predators. That's really cool. I'm gonna go with Predators. I also really hate when movies take just a soundtrack and make it into a movie. Didn't work with Suicide Squad. I don't really think it works all that well as much as people say in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Mm.
Get a score.
All right.
Hire a composer.
Well, Richie, what do you think?
I'll defend Predators here. I mean, not that it needs much defending because I think it's that people have seen it like it. Yeah, I think it's a pretty dang good movie that kind of got underseen for whatever reason. Maybe it was just too soon after maybe Alien vs Predators or something. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know why this movie sort of like gets forgotten about when they talk about Predator movies. But it's a pretty good movie for all the reasons I've described it. I do like it. Not enough to vote for it, over Guardians though. I think Guardians is one of my favorite MCU movies, and everything about this works, including the soundtrack. It was quite a surprise to me because Guardians obviously going in, that's not the most prolific or well-known property that Marvel's got, so they took a big risk. Developing this into a film, and I think it's paid off in spades. So, and yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm gonna have a soft spot for Scott Batista, but he's also pretty decent in this movie. So yeah, I'll go Guardians.
Yeah, Andy.
I've seen both of these. Predators is okay, but that's not saying much when I feel like a lot of the other ones are pretty bad. I'd say there's 3 good ones, 3 bad ones. But Guardians, I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was something, like I said, an unproven team. Soundtrack made it a lot of fun. So I'm going to go with Guardians.
Oh, yeah. Steven.
To be honest, I'm not really big on either one of these, but I'll go with Guardians. Just barely.
All right.
And Adrian Brody felt like he was doing this weird Clint Eastwood impersonation.
Yeah. Well, Austin?
That may be true, but I like Clint Eastwood, and I like Adrian Brody in that movie. and that movie has Danny Trejo also, and he's awesome. I'll defend Predators a lot. I think that movie's great, and it's funny. It's like my 3rd favorite Predator movie, but I think a lot of them are great. So that's not a knock on it because I just love Predator and Predator 2 that much more. But why not? I'll vote for it. I mean, Guardians is going through anyway, so it doesn't matter. But vote for Predators. So Guardians, and then we're almost there. We got Thor Ragnarok versus Event Horizon.
Gee, I wonder where Austin's going here.
Papa.
This is where Pez and I disagree again. Thor Ragnarok is amazing. Love it. I will say that there are parts of it that take place on Earth, so it shouldn't be on this list. But I am still gonna vote for it.
Wait, what parts take place on Earth?
The entire scene where Odin dies.
Yeah, they go find him.
Thor and Loki travel back to Earth. Stephen Strange comes, and that's the whole.
Sweet. We'll disqualify that. We'll move on to Event Horizon, and we'll keep going. All right, sounds good.
Yeah.
Good, Papa. So, as a technicality, like you did earlier, you're voting for Event Horizon, then, right?
Oh, gosh darn it, you're right. You're right, Pez. Way to use my words against me. Event Horizon on a technicality.
Oh wow. Okay. For real. Richie.
Yeah, I like Thor Ragnarok a lot. Again, I don't really get why people are like this, but then they don't like the 4th one because they're like, it's too much comedy. I'm like, this is good. I feel like Ragnarok's got way more comedy than Love and Thunder does, but maybe I need to rewatch it. I feel like Event Horizon doesn't get talked about here much though, so maybe using Papa's logic again, I'll be like, okay, I'll go Event Horizon.
All right, Andy.
I'm going Thor Ragnarok. I just love that. It was fun. It was a blast. So Thor Ragnarok.
All right, Steven.
I'm kind of in the middle with Thor Ragnarok in that I don't hate it nearly as much as Austin does, but I don't love it as much as a lot of people do. I like it. I don't love it. I love Event Horizon, so I'm definitely going to go. Technicality or not, I'd still go with Event Horizon.
Yeah. Well, Austin.
I mean, you know my thoughts, but here's the thing: I'm not just voting for whatever this is against. I genuinely love Event Horizon. I think it's awesome, and it's one of the great space horror movies. Obviously, like Alien is kind of the king of that, but I really love Event Horizon. I think Lawrence Fishburne is fantastic in this movie. I think Sam Neill is fantastic in this movie. I think there's really good shit, and I genuinely love it. I wish we could get the sort of uncut version they've always teased. I was hoping the Scream Factory could get a hold of that when they put out that Blu-ray recently, but they couldn't, which is unfortunate. But I'll still vote for it because I love it.
Yeah. This match was a little unfortunate to me because I really do like Event Horizon a lot. I think that it's great, but I'm just a huge Thor Ragnarok fan. Like, despite what anyone said, I think that the movie. I took a character that was just kind of just a like more of a bland character and breathed a lot of life into it and I made it a really cool, colorful world. I'm a big Taika Waititi fan. I'll defend him, and I also think that it has some serious moments. It has where Odin his death scene. Then you have Thor trying to deal with the death of like most of his people, and I think that's a great time though, and they still managed to make it fun and funny and like in ways that really work for me. So it may not work for everyone, but they work a lot really well for me. So I kind of wish that it was going up against something else like Mars Needs Moms or something weird like that, but so I could vote for Event Horizon, but I got to go Thor Ragnarok.
All right, we got 42 for
Event
Horizon.
Yep.
I was about to go. I'll vote for Event Horizon because I'm a huge Sam Neill fan, but technically he's in both these movies.
Yeah, technically he's in both. That's right.
Technically, yeah.
All right, got Jason X versus Titan AE.
Okay. Ooh, what a weird match.
What a weird match. All right, Richie.
Yeah, Titan AE is sort of like in that sort of realm of like Treasure Planet and all that stuff. It's just Disney animation that came out. I think I remember like not really getting into it when I watched it, but like I think maybe if I'd get around to it now, I might enjoy it. I wouldn't mind revisiting animation movies from that period. Because I think I would enjoy it. But Jason X is nuts, and it's just Jason goes to space, and I dig that. So Jason X.
Yeah. Andy, what do you think?
I saw Titan AE. I remember seeing it. It like came out, I think, around maybe the same time as that Final Fantasy movie. They were kind of trying.
That's a lot worse than this.
That one's really bad. Thank God that's not on here.
Or is it? I can't remember. It might be. I can't remember.
I don't think it is, but it could have been. Yeah, we could have put it on there.
Jason X was fun. Yeah, I mean, you know what you were getting. It was as advertised, so I enjoyed it for what it was. So let's go Jason X.
Yeah. Steven.
I'm a huge Nightmare on Elm Street fan, but I've never and I've liked some of the Halloween movies, but I was never much of a Jason fan because I think most of those movies are just not good. Jason X isn't good either, but it has its moments. But I think Titan AE is really underrated. I like it a lot, so I'm going to go with Titan AE.
Yeah. I'm Austin.
You know what's underrated, Steven? Jason X. It's fucking awesome. That movie's super, super fun. I think it's a blast. It's Jason on a spaceship. It's great. He's killing people with cryogenic freezing and shit, and just chopping people's limbs off and cutting people up while they're in holograms. It's great. Like I dig it for what it is. They know exactly what movie they're making, and I think they just go full bore with it. And it was technically the first Friday the 13th movie I got to see in the theater. So I thought that was a lot of fun.
I think it was mine too, actually.
Yeah, because I was too young to see a lot of the other ones because the one before that was Jason Goes to Hell in '93, and I was only 7 years old. So Jason X for me, definitely.
Yeah, well, I've never seen Jason X, and
God damn it, Jordan! I told you to watch it.
I know. Yeah, I didn't have enough time. Sorry.
Well, if I knew you were gonna hate Sunshine as much, I would have told you to watch Jason X because it's shorter. And you probably would have had more fun with it.
Yeah, probably. But Titan AE, like I remember when it came out, like Like I always get that movie confused with Treasure Planet, just because they're both kind of treasure hunting movies with like a spaceship and that kind of thing. But I also remember Titan AE like having all the Creed music for the trailer that like. And like I'm not a Creed guy, like they're not for me. So it's like I don't know about that one, but like it's just a trailer, so I still went and saw it, and it was fine. But you know what? Like I haven't seen Jason X, but even so, like I just don't really care that much about Titan AE, so I'll just vote for Jason X. Sure, let's go.
And I want to address Malcolm's comment because he's going, isn't there a scene with a Crystal Lake? No, it's a holodeck scene. That is a holodeck scene where they throw him in a holodeck as a distraction, and they send him to like a fake Crystal Lake where the two girls go, hey, you're cute. Want to have some pre-metal sex and do drugs?
I'll admit that scene is funny.
Yeah, it's really fun. And then he does the sleeping bag. Then he beats the shit out of the girl in the sleeping bag. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it has the opening like 5 minutes where he's at this like facility and then he gets frozen and he's in space. Like it's a very, very brief, very, very brief. But I said, Papa West, if it's not part of the primary plot and it's only 1 or 2 scenes, it still counts. So yeah.
I voted against Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, Thor Ragnarok, I forgot, has like 25 minutes on Earth. Like Jason X is like 5 minutes, and it's the first 5 minutes. So
it's my turn, right? Jordan. Jordan went sweet. Yeah. Jason X starts off on Earth. If memory serves me correct, doesn't Titan AE also start on Earth?
I don't know. I haven't seen
it.
It's the destruction of Earth. If I'm wrong, who cares? It's my vote. I don't care what anyone else has to say. So technicality gets thrown out the window because they both start out on Earth. I really enjoyed Titan AE growing up. I watched it a lot. But Jason X has the best Jason kill when he takes that chick's head and throws in the liquid nitrogen and then smashes it on the counter. For that one simple thing alone, Jason X gets my vote.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. Sounds good.
Also, you brought up Creed. I love how Creed dominated the late 90s, early 2000s and just fucking disappeared.
Disappeared out of nowhere. Like I don't think they're even together anymore. I watched they had one of the band members on Theo Vaughn's podcast talking about how they broke up and shit.
Okay. All right, this is the last one on this side. Got Silent Running versus Alien Covenant. All right. For anybody who doesn't know, Silent Running is a 1972 movie with Bruce Dern from the Tarantino movies, where he's running a ecological like space station kind of thing. So, I don't know, just letting you know. All right, Andy.
You're muted, bro. Muted.
Whoopsie.
Yeah.
Well, all I said was Alien Covenant sucks. It was bad.
Well, good. I'd agree with you.
It was really bad. Don't know anything about Silent Running, but Bruce Dern is always entertaining, always gives it his all. So let's go Silent Running.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm Steven.
I have not seen Silent Running. It's not anywhere near my favorite, but I don't hate Alien Covenant, so I'll go with Alien Covenant.
Yeah. Austin.
Just a quick point for you, Steven, that Douglas Trumbull directed Silent Running, and he was an effects guy for a lot of the Star Trek movies, the early ones. So, just putting that up. Anyways, but yeah, I hated Alien Covenant when I saw it in the theater. I rewatched it when me and Henry ranked them. Hated it even more. Like, that movie pissed me off even more the second time. Like, just where they go with it. Everything, all the goodwill from like Prometheus was gone. Like the fact they kill off what's her name, like right at the beginning. It was like for me like Aliens to Alien 3. Like I just don't understand that decision. Like she was a great character. Elizabeth or whatever. Like I don't understand that, and just it was not good. Plus it has Jussie Smollett, and fuck that guy. So I'm going Silent Running.
Jussie Smollett.
Juicy Smollett.
Yeah.
Smollett.
Yeah, he's actually in Alien Covenant. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I mean, not much. It's like
you
have to really look hard for him. He's just one of the random crew people.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So I haven't seen Silent Running, but yeah, Alien Covenant. Like that might be like the most predictable movie I've ever seen. Like I predicted that movie beat for beat for beat. Like I knew everything that was gonna happen before it even happened, and it's just like.
And you know what, Jordan? if we ever did that podcast about movies that suck but had great trailers, the Alien Covenant trailer was really good.
Yeah, it's actually really good. Yeah.
It was really, really good. Like the ones with like them doing that, the guy having like the spasm with the back and shit. Like there was some good stuff in that trailer, and then like the movie blew. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I thought Danny McBride might be able to do something with this, to maybe like help give it a refresh or something. I don't know, but it did not work. So, yeah. So I don't know anything about Silent Running, but I'm just not going to vote for Alien Covenant. It's like one of the few Alien movies, because I have a lot of blind spots with aliens too, and it's one of the few ones I went to theaters to see, and it sucked. So yeah, I'll go Silent Running. So, Papa.
We also failed to mention Danny McBride is an Alien Covenant, and Danny McBride sucks in Alien Covenant.
Yes.
Like the only part that I enjoyed is like right at the very beginning when they start hearing the Country Roads play, and Danny McBride's like, "That's fucking John Denver."
Yeah,
we gotta go for John Denver. I laughed at that, and that was the only part that I actually thoroughly enjoyed. And I'm gonna say exactly what everybody else said. I don't know anything about Silent Running, but I know it's not Alien Covenant.
Yep, gonna get a free pass here, probably.
Does anybody remember they did like a 10-minute prologue thing with James Franco for Alien Covenant?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then he was like dead at the beginning of the movie, like the actual movie, like so he wasn't in the movie. That was weird.
Yeah. Weird.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm a bit. I like Danny McBride, but I am questioning his writing between Alien Covenant and Halloween Ends. I'm questioning his writing abilities. But anyway, I'm probably with the majority here. Alien Covenant wasn't good. Decisions are baffling. So yeah, I don't know what Silent Running is. It might be cool. Might check it out, but it's not Alien Covenant. It's Silent Running.
Yeah.
All right. It's all right.
All right.
It's past. It won't make it very far, but it'll get past.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, there we go. That's it for this. So we will turn it into overdrive, and we will, for the rest of the matches, we'll go 10 seconds or less real quick. Just go with your gut.
Speed through
And we'll fly through and see which of these movies wins it all. So,
yeah.
All right. Let's get to our 32 here, and we'll wind it on down.
Just say we can't have some of the other Star Trek movies in here, but it's
I know, but they don't quite qualify. So, all right, let me scroll out just a little bit here. We got Chronicles of Riddick versus A New Hope. Should be pretty quick, but we'll see. Steven?
All right.
New Hope.
And I'll go New Hope pretty easily.
And I'll also go A New Hope.
Okay.
I'll also say A New Hope.
Yeah. Richie?
A New Hope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Andy?
A New Hope. Yeah.
I should have been a contrarian and went with Chronicles of Riddick.
Don't be a contrarian, Steven. All right. We got Mission to Mars versus Krull. All right. Me first. I'll go Mission to Mars.
Yeah, I'll go Mission to Mars. Papa?
Mission to Mars. Most of it not on Mars. It's on Earth. Krull. Also a really good movie.
Sure, yeah. Richie?
I could follow your logic, but I'm a hypocrite, so Mission to Mars.
Yeah.
Mission to Mars.
Andy? Yep. Steven?
Actually, I don't think that's true. There are some scenes that are on Earth, but most of it is either in space or in Mars. So Mission to Mars.
Yeah.
All right, Mission to Mars.
Awesome. All
right, let's go down. We got Rogue One versus Star Trek Generations. Jordan.
It's got to be Rogue One. Yeah. Papa?
There's only one good movie out of these two, and that's Rogue One.
Yep. Richie?
Rogue One.
Yeah. Andy?
Rogue One.
Yeah. Steven?
Star Trek Generations.
Oh, Austin.
I could go with the logic of the one I've seen more, which is Star Trek Generations, like way more. But I'll go Rogue One.
Yeah,
I could go with that logic though, because it's true.
Yeah.
All right. We got Prometheus versus Spaceballs.
Mm-hmm.
Papa.
Right.
May the Schwartz be with you, Spaceballs.
Yeah. Richie.
Prometheus.
Yeah. Andy.
Spaceballs.
Yeah. Steven.
The one I've seen, Prometheus.
Yeah. And Austin.
Spaceballs.
Yeah, it's gonna be Spaceballs. I'm still waiting for the Search for More Money, but
You probably don't. Yeah.
the sequel.
It would happen by now.
Yeah. Mel Brooks is 96 years old, so I think this
Although
history of the
he's got that
I know,
history
but
of the world.
I know, but it's probably going to be his last thing if I had to guess.
Probably, yeah.
Most likely, yeah. All right, Star Trek: The Motion Picture versus Ghosts of Mars. Richie.
Oh wow.
Ghosts of Mars.
Yeah. Andy.
Ghosts of Mars.
Yeah. Steven.
Ghosts of Mars, I guess.
Yeah. Austin.
I don't have any shame. I like Ghosts of Mars. Ghosts of Mars.
Yeah. I think that Star Trek Motion Pictures is boring, so Ghost of Mars. Papa.
Clean sweep. I love Ghost of Mars.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, fun fact. We've had like 3 clean sweeps. One of them Ghosts of Mars. Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Ghosts of Mars, yeah.
I never would have thought that at all if I predicted this. Okay.
Yeah.
Got Pandorum versus Force Awakens. Andy?
Force Awakens.
Force Awakens. Okay.
Yeah. Steven.
Force Awakens.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll go
Austin?
Force Awakens.
Yeah. I wish I had seen Pandorum, but I'll go Force Awakens.
You'd probably still say Force Awakens. I like Pandorum, but it's not Force
Sure.
Awakens. Yeah, to be honest.
Oh, Papa.
Force Awakens.
Yeah.
And Richie.
Force Awakens.
All right, another clean. There we go.
Clean
Force
sweep.
Awakens. Okay. All right, we got Star Trek Insurrection versus Aliens. Steven.
Oh. You know what? Because I know where this is going, I will give a vote to Star Trek Insurrection.
Yeah.
Well, you'd be right where it's going because it's going to Aliens.
Yeah, it's game over, man, for
Yeah,
Star Trek
yeah.
Insurrection, so it's got to be Aliens.
Yeah.
Papa?
Fun fact, guys. There's only one good movie in this list. Alien.
Yep. Richie?
Aliens.
Yeah.
Yep. Andy?
Aliens.
All right. Yeah. All right.
We
there
could have had
go.
a clean sweep, but no,
Yeah.
Stephen.
Yeah, we could have.
Got Treasure
Yay.
Planet versus Avatar: The Way of Water.
If
Me?
Jacob was here, I could have maybe gotten an
I'm right I'm right here.
Jacob Barber.
Yeah.
You know, since he'll always vote for the movie if I say since I know where this is going.
Yeah.
Right. Tell me you know where it's going. I'm voting this way. Yeah.
All right. I'm up first. I'll go Avatar so we can get okay James Cameron versus great James Cameron. Avatar.
Like the more I think about Avatar, like I don't know why I came out so hyped on it. I'm just I don't know. The more I think about it, I'm not. So I'm gonna go Treasure Planet. So Papa.
Out of forgiveness to somebody that I made fun of a lot last week. Treasure Planet.
Yeah. Richie.
I mean, not to judge that. It was kind of funny though.
Yeah.
I'll go Way of Water.
Yeah. Andy.
Treasure Planet.
Ooh.
Okay. Steven.
Avatar.
Ooh, okay. So we got a tie, and it goes to Steven.
Ooh.
Avatar.
Oh, all right. So we will have Cameron versus Cameron in the next round.
Yep.
All right. So that's our 16, or the first one's in the 16, and we'll see what will join it. We're not at the poll just yet. Almost there. So we will get Return of the Jedi versus Alien Resurrection. Jordan.
Return of the Jedi, easy. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Papa.
Return of the Jedi.
Richie.
Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, Andy.
Return of the Jedi.
And Steven.
Alien Resurrection.
And Austin.
I'll vote for the original title, Revenge of the Jedi.
Yeah, all right. Sounds good.
All right, we got High Life versus Star Trek Beyond. Papa.
High Life.
Yeah. Richie.
Beyond.
Andy.
Beyond.
Steven.
Star Trek Beyond.
Austin.
Yeah, I'll also go Star Trek Beyond.
And I will also go Star Trek Beyond.
All right. We're ready for the Beastie Boys. There you go.
Yeah, the Beastie Boys.
All right, we got Star Trek 3 versus Episode 3. 3 versus 3.
There you go.
So,
Nice.
yeah, Star Trek 3 and Star Wars Episode 3. Richie.
Revenge of the Sith.
Yep. Andy.
Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah. Steven.
Just so that it doesn't go without, and so that it has at least one vote. Search for Spock.
Yeah. Austin.
The best lightsaber fight, as Papa said, Mustafar, Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah. Revenge of the Sith. Yep.
All right, Papa.
There's only one good movie of these two, and that is the superior number 3, Revenge of the Sith.
All right.
It would have been funny if you would have said the Search for Spock.
Search for Spock.
I'm not drunk enough to do that.
Yeah.
All right.
Like, wait. But I mean,
Well,
I would take a lot of alcohol.
This one could be interesting. We got Moon versus Rise of Skywalker. Andy.
Moon.
Steven.
If I had seen Moon, maybe I could be voting for Moon, but I'll go with Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah. Austin.
I'll go with easily the more cohesive and better movie, Moon.
Yeah, like hands down, like by a country mile, Moon. Yeah. Papa.
Easily the one I haven't seen yet, Moon. On my watch list. I added it to my watch list.
It's very, very good.
Yeah.
Is it on your watch list above or below the castle? I just wanted to say.
So no, I actually hit the plus sign on HBO Max for Moon. I can't find a add to watch list on YouTube.
I just watch it then. Just
add it to the playlist.
Add to a playlist. But anyway, Moon.
All right, Sam Rockwell. Moving on. Okay, and we got Empire Strikes Back versus Gravity. All right, Steven.
I didn't vote for it last time, but I'll vote for it this time. Gravity.
Yeah.
I like Gravity a lot, but it's Empire.
Yeah, like this is another easy one for me. Empire. Papa.
Empire.
Richie.
Empire.
And
Andy.
Empire.
Empire.
Yeah.
All right, Empire ended 16. We got Last Jedi versus Dune. Okay, me, I'll go Dune.
Yeah, well, you want to think about it. It's directed by Denis Villeneuve. Do you like him, Austin?
But do people forget that I have Sicario in like my top 50 movies of all time?
True. That is true. Yeah.
I like Prisoners. I like Enemy. I like Sicario, and I like the visuals of Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
I like about half of what he puts out.
Yeah.
I was watching Sicario again the other day. I fucking love Sicario.
Yeah,
that movie's great.
Good. Yeah.
You should try Enemy if you've never seen.
I said Enemy. Yeah, I love Enemy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Enemy and Prisoners are both great too. Yeah, they're really.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Prisoners in my top 64. Yeah, but I'm in top 128. But yeah, I got to go Dune here. Papa.
Not looking at it as a trilogy. I'm looking at it as one movie versus one movie. The Last Jedi.
Yeah. Richie.
Yeah, just because I haven't seen Dune yet, although Austin hasn't either. But I'll go. I'll go The Last Jedi.
Yeah. Andy.
Easily Dune.
Yeah.
And Steven.
Last Jedi.
Wow.
Ooh.
It's a tie, and I can't believe I'm breaking the tie with a Denis Villeneuve movie, but I'm going to do it because Last Jedi infuriates me, so I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Because I will watch it. I'm pretty sure I'll like it more than the David Lynch movie. I'm pretty damn sure that'll be better.
It's way more cohesive. You actually know what the hell is going on.
Right.
You don't like Benicio del Toro's like a stuttering guy who's in it for a whole 5 minutes and then he's gone? Which could have been like a great character and they freaking just got rid of him.
I totally forgot he's in that movie.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So Jordan's up first for Event Horizon and Guardians of the Galaxy.
Man, like I really want to vote for Event Horizon, but Guardians, like I just freaking, I'm a huge fan of Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one. So yeah, I gotta go on Guardians. Papa.
I'm also going to go with Guardians.
Yeah.
Richie.
Richie.
I'll go Event Horizon.
Yeah. Andy.
Guardians.
Yeah. And Steven.
Event Horizon pretty easily.
Yeah. And Austin.
I'll go Event Horizon. I wish I had the fucking tiebreaker, and I don't. I
just
just
used it.
Bitch. So Jordan's got it. Damn it! I would have put through Event Horizon because that movie's great.
Well, you know what?
You can still do it, Jordan. You
Yeah.
can still do it.
Well, I've been wanting to vote for Event Horizon forever because that movie is actually good. So let's go Event Horizon. Let's flip it.
Hell yeah.
Let's go. Yeah.
All right. I don't think we ever see it ever, like in any of these tournaments.
Yeah.
Ever. It's really fucking good.
The movie's good. It was a close one for me. So.
Okay. Cool. Jason X versus Silent Running. All right, Papa West.
Jason X.
All right, Richie.
Sort of a formality, but Jason X.
Yeah. Well, it's oddly enough, it's a formality for Jason X. That's a weird sentence.
Yeah.
Jason X.
Yeah.
That is a weird formality, though.
Steven?
It's a bad movie, but sure, whatever. Jason X.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Steven, it's a great bad movie. Jason X.
Well, Silent Running got in on a technicality, and I think probably Jason X will make it this time. So let's go Jason X.
All right. There we go. Okay. All right. So we're about to decide our Elite Eight, which will be in our poll for our offer tournament. So
yeah, over
there we
the
go.
Friends and Family.
Family group. So yeah. So whichever makes this will be in that poll. So we got A New Hope versus Mission to Mars. This might be a formality, but just in case.
Yeah.
Richie.
New Hope.
Okay.
Andy?
New Hope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Steven?
Mission to Mars.
Oh, I knew he was
yeah, of course. Yeah. Austin?
No, it's A New Hope very easily.
Yeah, it's going to be A New Hope.
Okay.
Papa?
I said it once. I'll say it again. Mission to Mars. Quite a bit takes place on Earth. New Hope. None of it takes place on Earth.
Yeah.
New Hope.
Yeah.
I think a few minutes maybe takes place on Earth.
Yeah.
I haven't seen
it. No.
Judge that.
None of A New Hope takes place on Earth, Stephen.
No, we're saying Mission to Mars.
Okay.
We don't know.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have to go back.
It's like the first 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that much.
All right.
Quite a bit.
5 minutes maybe at most.
Oh, this could be a tricky one. Rogue One versus Spaceballs. This could be tricky. All right, Andy.
Crap.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh man. Spaceballs. I'm doing it. Spaceballs.
Yep.
I love that movie. I love that movie.
Yeah. Steven.
Just so that we're not overly flooded with Star Wars Spaceballs.
Yeah. Well, it's a Star Wars parody, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Austin?
it's not the same. It's not the same. Spaceballs.
Yeah, like I want to vote for Spaceballs, but I just love Rogue One so much. It might be my favorite Star Wars movie. Like it's a flip flop between that and Return of the Jedi. But yeah, I'll go with Rogue One. Papa?
I am gonna go with Spaceballs.
Ooh. And Richie.
And I'll go Rogue One.
Ooh.
Okay,
so
I'm missing a vote. Go back to the room again. I missed something. So
Spaceballs.
Andy said Spaceballs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Steven, what did you say again?
Spaceball.
Spaceballs. I said Spaceballs. Jordan said
I said
Rogue
Rogue One.
One. Papa said Rogue One. Or
Papa
wait,
said
no,
Spaceballs.
Spaceballs. Okay, that's
Yeah,
what I missed. And then Richie.
And I said Rogue One.
Okay, so it's
Yeah.
Spaceballs. Okay.
Yeah, Spaceballs.
Sorry, I had to
Could be an
recap just to be
upset.
sure. I lost. I think I missed Papa's vote for some reason. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. All right,
Yeah.
Spaceballs. So maybe a bit of an upset, but there you go. All right. All right, so we've got Ghosts of Mars still hanging in there versus The Force Awakens.
Oh wow.
All right, Steven.
And who's first? Yes.
I almost want to vote for Ghost of Mars, but I love Force Awakens. So I'm still going to go with Force Awakens.
Yeah. Austin?
Why not? Ghosts of Mars.
Yeah, I'm tempted because I don't like how they wasted characters in The Force Awakens, but I'll still go with Force Awakens. Papa?
Anarchy. I don't know what it is, but I love it. We're gonna go with Ghost of Mars.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, Richie.
Ghost of Mars.
Oh.
I'll do
Andy?
it. Force Awakens. Let's throw a little wrench in there.
Well,
Ooh.
it's a tie to Papa.
Goes to
Papa.
Papa.
Me too.
Disney, I love you, but you ruined Star Wars, and for that, The Force Awakens cannot move any further. Ghost of Mars is moving on.
Wow. Okay.
All
It'll be in the
right.
poll.
It'll be in the poll.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Andy, thank you for letting me have that moment.
Okay. All right. Got aliens. You got Cameron versus Cameron. Aliens versus the way of water. Me, aliens. Easy.
Yeah, aliens. Papa?
Aliens.
Richie.
Yeah.
Aliens.
Okay.
Aliens.
Okay.
And Steven.
Yeah, I gotta go with Aliens. I voted for Avatar. It's just that Avatar. I voted for Avatar for the other because it was kept getting up against something I didn't care as much about. But if it's up against Aliens, I can't.
All right. So we got another true Star Wars versus Star Trek match here. We got Return of the Jedi versus Beyond.
Also 3 versus 3.
Also another 3 versus 3. That is correct. Jordan?
Yeah, I got to go with Return of the Jedi. Yeah. Papa?
Correction, it's number 6 versus I don't care to count that high. Return of the Jedi.
Yeah. Richie?
I'll be on an island to myself probably, but I'll go Beyond.
Yeah. Andy?
Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Steven?
Yeah, but Return of the Jedi was the third one that came out, so that counts as 3. But I'm going with Star Trek Beyond.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to go Return of the Jedi. Pretty easy on this one.
Return of the Jedi.
Hang on, I'm writing these down real quick for the poll, so my apologies. Jedi, Return of the Jedi. Okay. All right. We got Revenge of the Sith versus Moon. All right. And Papa.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, Papa.
We're going to go with Revenge of the Sith.
Okay.
Richie.
Moon.
Andy?
Yeah. Andy.
You go Moon.
Steven.
I would have gone with Revenge of the Sith, but after reading Papa West's comment, no more Trek, I'll go with
Moon. Yeah, I saw that, yeah. Austin?
I'll go Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, and I think I got to go Moon. That movie is great.
Okay, Moon takes out Star Wars. So, okay.
Here we go.
All right. Got 2 more matches. Got Empire Strikes Back versus Dune.
Looking
okay,
tough.
Richie.
Empire.
Andy.
Right.
Empire.
All right.
Yeah.
Steven?
Both of these end with cliffhangers, but Empire feels like a more complete movie, so Empire.
Yeah. Austin?
Empire.
Yeah, I got to go with Empire. Papa?
I am also going to go with Empire.
All right,
Yep.
Empire into the poll. Okay.
Hiya.
Empire. Okay. And finally on this side, we got Event Horizon and Jason X. Space Horror.
Man. Space Horror.
Horror, yeah.
Yeah.
All
Space
right.
Horror for the win.
Okay, Andy.
Let's go Event Horizon.
Yeah. Steven.
Event Horizon by a huge margin.
Yeah. Austin?
I like both of them, but yeah, I love me some Event Horizon. So let's go do that.
Well, finally, I can feel confident about voting for Event Horizon. Let's go.
All right.
Yeah. Papa?
I still think that Jason kill is top notch, better than anything else. Jason X.
Hey, but
Yeah.
Sam Neill stabbing his own eyeballs out is pretty good too.
Yeah.
Richie?
Event Horizon.
All right. Event Horizon, kind of the
One-
underdog in the tournament. There you go.
One thing I'll say in Jason X's favor is that I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, David Cronenberg's in it.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, he's one of the professors on the ship or whatever. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
All right. So let me scroll this out just a tad because we've got A New Hope. Hang on. Whoops. And Spaceballs. So the Star Wars versus the Star Wars parody again, once again.
Oh.
So Spaceballs is
Alright.
the closest thing we'll get to a Star Trek movie, Steven, because we don't have any Star Trek movies.
Yeah. Gone.
in the poll, unfortunately. So
Yeah.
all right, but Steven, yeah, you're up first. So what do you got?
I mean, you can make that argument maybe with Galaxy Quest, but Spaceballs seems more like a Star Wars parody than a Star Trek parody.
Yeah, but he literally references Star Trek in it. Like when they're about to beam him, he goes, "Hell, it works on Star Trek."
Yeah.
I got to go with A New Hope.
New Hope. Okay.
Yeah. Well, Austin?
Yeah, I'll probably go with New Hope just because it goes all the way back to when I was like 5 years old. So.
Well, now you will see that evil will always triumph because good is dumb. Spaceballs. Let's go.
I have a T-shirt of that actually. It's kind
Oh,
of
nice.
faded now. Yeah.
Papa?
This is very tough for me, but by the very, very thinnest of margins, I'm going Spaceballs.
Yeah.
Okay. Richie.
Spaceballs.
Ooh.
Andy.
Fuck it, you only live once. Spaceballs.
Spaceball.
You only live one. You're taking on A New Hope. Let's go.
Another panel with Papa on it where Spaceballs might make it to the finals. Very close.
My hot take is that The New Hope is slightly overrated, not by much, but slightly. So.
I got Ghosts of Mars versus
Oh,
Aliens.
Oh.
All right, sorry, Ghosts of Mars. You made it to the poll. That's far enough. Aliens.
Yeah. That's far enough. So yeah, Aliens. Papa.
But hear me out, guys. Ghost of Mars is so much fun.
Listen, I'll vote for it in the poll, but it's far enough. Okay.
I've never seen it, so maybe I have to.
Yeah, I let's not be too silly here. Come on, Aliens.
Yeah. Andy.
Aliens.
Yeah. Steven?
At this point, I'm hoping Aliens actually wins this whole thing. So Aliens.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Is this the only hope you have left, Stephen?
Yeah.
You like? All right. Fair
Well,
enough.
no, I mean, I have no complaints if Event Horizon wins, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
You never know.
You never know.
If you say stuff,
crazier things have happened on tournament fights. I'll tell you that. All right.
Yep.
So we got Return of the Jedi versus Moon. Another dark horse hanging in there. Jordan.
Yeah, this time it's got to go Return of the Jedi. Papa?
Return of the Jedi.
Yeah. Richie?
Moon.
Andy?
Return of the Jedi.
Yeah. Steven?
I think Return of the Jedi is overrated, so I go with Moon.
Oh, okay.
And you also think Trek's better than Star Wars, so
Well, I don't think it's overrated, so I go Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah, that last half an hour is a banger. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So good.
All right. Empire Strikes Back versus Event Horizon. All right, Papa West.
Yeah.
Empire
You're right.
Strikes
Horizon is not going to make it.
Event Horizon.
Andy.
Andy?
Empire.
Yeah. Steven?
I would love to see it happen. I don't think it's going to, but I'm still going to go with Event Horizon.
Yeah. Austin?
Not against Empire.
Yeah.
It's in the poll. I'm glad it's in the poll. I'll vote for it, but Empire.
Yeah, it's got to be Empire.
Yeah, sorry, not this time.
Was really hoping for an Aliens versus Event Horizon finale.
And instead, you're going to get a lot of Star Wars. Well, 2 Star Wars. Got a parody of Star Wars.
Yeah.
And Aliens. So, yeah.
We could have had the entire original trilogy in here, but it didn't happen.
we almost did. Yeah, I forgot. Spaceballs beat. I was going to say we almost had the whole original trilogy, but
yeah.
All right, so Richie will be up first for Aliens versus Spaceballs.
Yeah, because Papa's here, and it would be funny if it was in the final again. I'm gonna go Spaceballs.
Spaceballs.
Andy, all right, Spaceballs.
Go really quick. My earbuds went out, so when it comes to me, hang on a second. I gotta switch them.
All right, Steven?
Aliens.
All right, I'm gonna go Aliens because it's my favorite movie, obviously.
Sorry, it's gonna take a minute.
Oh, Jordan, you're holding up progress. Well, I'll get Papa's vote, and we'll come back to Jordan. Papa.
By the thinnest of margins, Spaceballs.
Spaceballs. So we do need Jordan's vote, actually. It's not overwhelming.
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you now. So what are the votes at? Because my earbuds.
I'm not gonna tell you. You guys just got to vote.
You got to decide.
We skipped you
well,
over
really
for a
fair.
second.
Like I didn't have control of my earbuds not working.
But it wouldn't matter anyways. So.
Nobody else gets to figure out what the vote is before they vote. They have to pay attention.
Hey,
but the thing is, I didn't have a choice.
No, but even remember when people always ask me, Jordan, "Oh, what are the votes at?" No matter who it is, I say, I'm not going to tell you. Just vote.
Well, it's because they're not paying attention. I was paying attention, and then all of a sudden they stopped. I'm like, wait a second. But
just vote.
Which one has the better? Which one has the better chest burster scene? I don't know if Aliens has a chest burster, but Spaceballs does. It does at the end.
They both do.
Yeah. So for that, let's go Spaceballs. Yeah.
Spaceballs gets it.
All right.
Wins.
All right. There you go.
All right. On the other side, we got the Star Wars match: Return of the Jedi and Empire.
Ooh, here we go.
All right, Andy.
Empire.
Empire.
Yeah.
Okay. Steven.
Definitely Empire.
I will go Empire.
For me, it's definitely Return of the Jedi. Better. Papa.
Return of the Jedi is my favorite Star Wars movie.
Yep.
Richie.
Only one of these movies has like Ewoks banging on the like severed heads of stormtroopers. Come on.
Empire.
Empire moves on. All right.
Made that vote easier though.
Okay. So finals, Spaceballs, Empire Strikes Back. Steven, you kick it off.
It's so odd for me to be voting for, in the final match, for me to be voting for a movie I haven't seen. But I'm going with Spaceballs.
Wow. Movie you haven't seen in the finals. That's risky. Okay. I'm going Empire.
And I think I'm also going to go Spaceballs because Spaceballs is great. Papa.
Just to keep it even, I'm going with Empire.
Okay.
All right.
Richie.
We got some chaos.
Spaceballs.
Ooh.
Andy.
You know, it was the little movie that could, so we're gonna go Spaceballs. We're gonna get it.
Yes, let's go.
All right.
Spaceballs, yeah.
All right. I've got to add it to
Mel
the
Brooks,
list.
let's go. My second favorite director of all time. So.
All right, Spaceballs. And I'm putting it in my master list here.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a unique winner, yeah.
It's a unique winner. Although people may not realize this, as many times as we've seen Empire in these tournaments, it's never won.
Oh man,
Yeah,
I thought it. I honestly thought it had.
It has not.
Oh.
It was kind of like you know how we always talked about T2 and it finally won a tournament, but it appeared a million times. Empire's the same way. It's been in probably 24 tournaments, but it's never actually won a tournament. So yeah, it's never made it all the way.
Well, Spaceballs hit the ludicrous speed for the ludicrous victory there.
That certainly is a ludicrous victory.
yeah. Yep.
All right. Well, Spaceballs is your victor this evening. So.
One of these days, I'm going to do a double bill of Spaceballs for the first time, and then rewatch Galaxy Quest.
Ooh, that'd be a good double feature,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All
Way
right.
down for that, but
all right. Well, you can kick my screen out of there, Jordan, and we'll wrap this thing up.
All right, sounds good. So that'll do it for us tonight. So thanks, guys. That was a fun time. So we'll do some plugs.
So for all that talk about Star Wars versus Star Trek and the Alien movies, Spaceballs fucking wins.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
One of the left field.
The parody of those movies wins. So,
No, it would have been even funnier if Galaxy Quest counted and the final match was between those two.
It sucks though because Galaxy Quest has a lot of Earth scenes. Like there's like half that movie actually on Earth. So yeah, I mean we couldn't count it. But
the next one needs to be sci-fi movies that do have Earth scenes. That'll be our next one. So.
Well, I mean, we could even do a sci-fi franchise tournament, a strict one, and include every Star Wars movie, every Star Trek movie, every Alien or Predator movie. Like we could do that and just throw them all in there and see what happens. And
biggest sci-fi franchises,
yeah, something like that. Like we could do something like that. We'll figure it out. But yeah.
Sometimes though, it's a thin line between what counts as sci-fi and what counts as fantasy.
Yeah, it's true. So, but yeah, we'll do some plugs. So, Papa West, where can we find you?
You can find me on Facebook at Jacob E. West. Yes, that E is very important. There are a lot of Jacob West out there, but only one whose parents gave them the initials of Jew and will put that crap on Facebook. And that's me. I don't know about any of the other Jacob West, but I know I'm a good guy. You can also find me over at TMG Trivia. I run singles and teams. Guys, you're not going to believe this. I finished round 1.
Whoa.
I finally finished round 1 of the singles tournament. We just had our last match last week.
We'll get done with round 2 in 2025. Sounds good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's gonna air this week. And then I do have some random matches coming out because I decided to change up round number 3 to see if hopefully I can start writing questions a lot quicker than what I was doing. And then also over at TMG Entertainment, I do a sports show called TMG Takes the Field. I did one a couple weeks ago. And then there is also Movie Battleground, where we do a lot of movie debate. Watch me face Zachary Shelton, although I don't think you can call it face, whenever it comes out. You will understand why once you watch it.
Well, February's a big month for sports. You got to do it. TMG Takes the Field because you got the Super Bowl, you got the Pro Bowl, you got the NBA All-Star Game, you got all the. So
hey, don't tell me what I have to
do. No, you have to. But Richie, where can we find you?
You can find me on here on Tournament Fights. The next one I'll be on will be Leo DiCaprio versus Brad Pitt. So that's gonna be very sexy. Very sexy.
Yep. Oh yeah.
I mean, like Pez alluded to, I'm not unfortunately due to circumstances, I'm not going to be on the episode on Thursday. But most of the time, you can catch me on Lonely Marks I'll probably be on their Royal Rumble recap episode, which is the week after. So that should be fun to see what
It'll be a Royal Rumble recap plus whoever wins probably gets to pick something we have to watch. So it'll probably be a 50-50 show because we'll get back to that. So whoever wins all the stuff gets to pick something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe if I win, I'll make everybody watch the worst Royal Rumble '96.
To me, worst Royal Rumble was last year, so I'm all good.
We can do that too.
I don't know. But yeah, so I'm hoping the number I get involves Sami Zayn or Cody Rhodes. I'll be fine. But yeah, so catch there. I do trivia on wrestling trivia on combat wrestling trivia, just on Chris Cass's Twitch channel, Castifer. Got a match coming up in a couple of weeks against Paul Mead, who's the champion. It's a non-title match, but hopefully I can get some points for my faction, the Pullet Club. You can find me on JPO's channel doing wrestling trivia, movie trivia, and I do a podcast with my friend Robert Cameron about Tubi. It's called Tell Me Dreaming, just a play on the castle line, Tell Me Dreaming, and so we record every Wednesday here, Tuesday there, and then the episodes get dropped on Tuesday. Probably Monday in America, but I just finished watching the Curse of Humpty Dumpty, so we're recording that today. The last episode that went up just recently, it was a movie called Bloodbath at the House of Death, which is a sort of a British horror parody movie. So catch up on there. Other than that, I'm around doing various other things. I think I'm in that TMG tournament that was in round one. I remember recording that ages ago. So I think I'm versing Ryan. I think I'm versing Ryan Permerson at some point in my lifetime. So keep an eye out for that.
Yes, you are going to face Ryan Permerson at some point
next year. All right, sounds good.
You can find me on Facebook at Andy Sweet. I'm on Twitter at AndySweet84. I'm not too, I'm kind of getting new into this, so I'm on Movie Battleground sometimes, doing my best to debate, but usually failing. Like Richie was actually just on a match I did recently, which was a bloodbath, but you'll see. So
that's why I don't do a Battleground anymore. I was not that good at it, and it took way too much time out of my schedule.
Yeah, it was nice when I said, what do I need to do? You said nothing, just show up. I said, I'm there.
As opposed to me, the guy who's probably recorded more Battleground matches in the last 6 months than any competitor.
Yes.
I've probably done like 5 or 6 matches. I've done like literally almost one a month. So through various circumstances.
They are draining, that is for sure.
Yep.
Well, I gotta do a shitload of prep for my next one if that gives you an indication. So I don't even have
usually they would involve watching 3 or 4 movies and then writing pages of notes. I'm like, I don't got time for that. So but
I don't either, but I still do it.
but Aaron does a great job with that. Like I enjoy watching it, so they're fun. So but Steven, where can we find you?
All the social medias, and I'll be back here in 1 week for my part 1 of my top 128.
So we'll look forward to that one coming up. So
is Wrath of Khan on there?
It was in my top 64 last year, so
so it may or may not be on that episode then. Yes. All right.
Yeah, we'll see. But Austin, where can we find you?
I will be on Lonely Marks on Thursday night. Yeah, unfortunately, Richie won't be able to join us, but he said he's going to shoot me all of his answers and picks and stuff, and I'll kind of gatekeep those for him on the episode, represent him, give him some representation. We'll be doing Rumble predictions, our kind of Royal Rumble dream cards that we do occasionally for these big shows. They're always fun. And we'll just have a little goofy time with that. Me and Jacob are going to bring back once again podcast about movies on Saturday night, where the subject will be one where we didn't have to do a ton of prep, just a little research on Wikipedia and whatnot. Oscars got it wrong is going to be our thing. So what we think maybe should have won the Oscars that didn't, or even ones that got just skipped over altogether. Maybe I might even bring up some documentaries that didn't even get nominated, things like that. So just all kinds of stuff. We'll just be yapping back and forth about that. So that should be a good time.
Yeah, that reminds me. I'm going to go vote on Malcolm lays a little poll out to like vote for which movies you would pick for the Oscars. So yeah, I'm going to do that after.
Well, I mean, there's already got one snub this year that should have been replaced by something. Sub out with Michelle Williams for Mia Goth from Pearl.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I would agree.
Be subbed out. So there you go.
Yep. But yeah, you can find us on all the social medias at Movie Hero 2121 on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me on my personal Instagram because I post a little more, well, way more there. So Jordan83616, and then you can find this poll with the Elite Eight over in the Shoutout on Friends and Family groups. You can go and vote. You can tell us if we got it right, if we got it wrong, and like why A New Hope should have been there instead of Spaceballs or something like just stuff like that. I'll just shout out our Patreon. Because I've been doing a little more with it. I've been working hard on some trivia that I'm going to have over there. It's going to be monthly a trivia. I hope to make it maybe twice a month, but there's just a lot of prep that has been going into it. But it's going to be movie trivia that it's going to involve movie clips and clips of movie scores and soundtracks. Because on Patreon, I don't have to worry about the copyright, so that'll be fun. So and anyone's eligible to play, but you do have to be a member of the Patreon to watch it because unfortunately it can only live there. It can't go anywhere else. So, but yeah, and then we're also going to be doing on the Patreon. We have a draft coming up that's going to be an animated TV draft. So we can draft anything like cartoon shows from our childhood, things from primetime TV. That pretty much any animated TV shows eligible. So that'll be going up on the Patreon also, and we're also been doing some giveaways over there. We've been doing a giveaway for I worked in various movie theaters for 3 years. So I'm giving away some of my one sheet movie posters from my time working in the movie theater. I've been looking up some of those, like the posters that I have, they're worth around anything from like $35 all the way to like $200. Some of those posters, like if you want to buy them straight up online off like eBay or like any other website. So they're kind of like collector's items. So yeah, but and then also too, we're getting close to 200 subscribers on the channel. So Austin has a little giveaway of a little box set we were going to give away once we hit 200 subscribers.
This is not the one I'll be giving away, but I have an extra copy of the Dawn of the Dead 4K 4-disc box set that was in limited print because of a shipping error. So I have another one way over there that's still, factory sealed, ready to go. So I will be giving that away if we get to 200. So let's get to 200.
Yeah. So once we hit 200, I'll just put everyone's name into the randomizer that's a subscriber, and it'll just be whichever one comes out on top. So.
And make sure that person has 4K capabilities, otherwise we'll randomize it again and shuffle it over.
Yeah, right.
You need to have a 4K player to play it.
Yeah. Yep.
So, yeah.
Sounds good. And then I've been doing some video game streams. So I've been rotating through it about every 3 to 4 days. I'm trying to do it consistently Saturdays. I just got really busy yesterday, so I didn't do this last Saturday. I actually went on Friday, but I've been going through a Deathloop, Life is Strange, True Colors, and then Marvel Midnight Suns. So you can find that on the YouTube channel. So I'll be doing that, and then I'll be doing some Snack Heroes coming up. I don't really have a real set schedule for Snack Heroes, but I do try some goofy snacks from time to time on the channel. So maybe within like 2-3 days, you'll see another one pop up here. And we'll always announce everything on all of our social media, so you can find all the updates there. And then just a little quick update of what we have going on for tournament fights and tier rankers. So we already mentioned the Brad Pitt versus Leo DiCaprio. That's happening Friday. Then next Tuesday, we're going to be starting Steven Shepard's 128, which, Steven, I still need your 128 list whenever you have it ready. But so we can start working on that one. But we also have a Family Feud match that's it's going to be Martin Sheen versus Charlie Sheen versus Emilio Estevez in a 3-way battle. So that's coming up. We have our best of 2015 series that's going to be a parter. So we'll be doing that. We also have best spy movies. So that'll be one we can have every James Bond movie plus like Mission Impossible and whatever movies have the word spy in it and that kind of thing. So those will be all there. We're getting into Malcolm Lay's 28 also. So this is coming up soon. We also have De Niro versus Al Pacino in movies for a versus. And then we're going to be getting back into our animation series, which we're going to be doing the second half of the 2010s. So 2000 and 2017, I should say, to now, and it'll be a tier ranker. So we're going to go through it decade by decade, try and determine the best animated movies of all time. So that's kind of what's coming up on the channel. So we can find us. So, but thanks again, guys. This was a fun time. So I appreciate y'all jumping on this one. We'll see what people say about our winner tonight. A little bit of chaos, but that's all right. Chaos is fun on tournament fights. So, but yeah. So for Papa West, for Richie, for Andy, for Steven, for Austin, Pez, I've been Jordan, the movie hero Anderson, and we will see you next time.